And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come join. One man went to Mo. You know how we do it. You know where we do it. You know when we do it. One man went to Mo. All matters relating to Nigeria. Gather, come join. One man went to Mo. Moves to remove rather the president of the Senate in Nigeria. So that is up for discussion. Be ruthless with them. Instructions given by the Inspector General of Police to the troops in IGBOLAND. So we discussed that as well. So all matters relating to Nigeria, we discuss. Ignore human rights, he says, and go after them. Protesters storm the Senate House demanding the removal of LAWAN as the Senate president. So that is up for discussion as well. So plenty to go through. Gather, come join. So let's start off with those protesters straight away. As guys, I bring you this. Protesters storm National Assembly, accuse LAWAN Gbajabiamila of working against Nigerians. So Gbajabiamila is swept up in this protestation. Members of the civil society organizations on Wednesday staged a peaceful protest tagged Occupy NAS Today at the National Assembly Abuja to demand for immediate passage of Electoral Act 2020 as amended. The group also accused the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, of working in cahoots with some people to frustrate the passage of the bill. So that is a passing of a bill that protestation is about. But the next move against LAWAN is more potent. Senate President LAWAN may be impeached. Senate President LAWAN may be impeached soon, a headline attributed to a lawmaker. So a member of the Senate is the one making this headline. So let's see how this is underpinned. A member of the House of Representatives, Sagios Ogun, said the impeachment of the Senate President Ahmed Lawan. Let me start that all over again. A member of the House of Representatives, Sagios Ogun, said the impeachment of the Senate President Ahmed Lawan might be imminent owing to his comments on issue of restructuring in Nigeria. Speaking in an Arise TV interview on Monday morning, Ogun decried the chastisement of 17 southern governors by the Senate president, describing it as disgraceful. He stated that the National Assembly was in the process of a constitutional review and that the remark by the Senate president exposed an underlying opposition towards the proposed review, rendering the entire process dead on arrival. For him to be talking to governors representing a section of the country like that, he is not fit to be the Senate president. And I strongly believe that the senators from the South will do something about it this week. I think he should go. And I think the process has started, he said. Lawan had condemned the call by Southern governors for a restructuring of the nation, suggesting that it was wrong for elected leaders to champion such movement. He said this last week at an interview with State House correspondents after the Eid al-Mubarak prayers held at the presidential villa. I believe that as leaders, especially those of us who are elected into office, should not be at the forefront of calling for this kind of a thing. Because even if you are a governor, you are supposed to be working hard in your state to ensure that this restructuring you are calling for at federal level, you should have done it in your state as well. So a call for the removal of what's his name, Ahmed Lawan, as the president of the Senate. So now to go on to now what the Inspector General of Police is saying about the agitations in the Southeast. But before we go there, let's just take the response of the presidency to Lawan's position. So let's take this headline. Lawan did not speak for Senate on restructuring Buhari. So Buhari now turning his back apparently on but no, this is not actually Muhammadu Buhari, but a senator called Buhari from Oyo State. So let's abandon that and go on to the IPOB narrative. IPOB, federal government orders police to ignore human rights and kill them all. So we are now at that stage. We obviously predicted this, that there will be a savaging and a massacring to go on within the Southeast. And it looks as though that has now been put in place with a direct order. IPOB, federal government orders police to ignore human rights and kill them all. So now let's now see if they are paraphrasing or if this is an actual instruction. The order was issued through Nigeria's acting Inspector General of Police, Usman Babad, on Tuesday, who declared war on biafra agitators and gunmen attacking and destroying police infrastructures in the regions, ordering their complete extermination. The police boss who spoke on the sideline whilst addressing the police mobile force and special tactical squad of the force in Enugu shortly after he launched Operation Restore Peace, directed policemen in the region not to adhere to the rules of engagement whilst dealing with biafra secessionist groups, adding that his job was to protect them. Don't mind the media shout. Do not mind, rather, don't mind the media shout. Do the job I command you. If anyone accuses you of human rights violation, the report will come to my table and you know what I will do. So take the battle to them wherever they are and kill them all. Don't wait for an order, he said. What another order are you waiting for when Mr. President had ordered you to shoot anybody carrying AK-47 rifle? Quote me, even a dead policeman can be tried and dismissed from the force and his family will not get his benefits. So don't sit and wait for them to come. Take attack to them and don't lose your arms to criminals. In an address earlier, before declaring open the operation codenamed Operation RT, Restore Peace, which was witnessed by governors of the Southeast states and heads of other security agencies, according to a newspaper, Usman stated that the operation was for the stabilization of the security order in the geopolitical zone. He maintained that the time is now. Today's launch of Operation Restore Peace by the Nigerian Police Force follows the directives of Mr. President to the Nigerian Police Force to re-evaluate and place new operational strategies to stem the tide of violence and secession agenda, not only in the Southeast, but across the country. Baba added, indeed, the resort to terror tactics, disregard to constitutional process and disrespect for democratic standards to advance their interest of creating an ungovernable space in the region, informed the decision of the federal government to outlaw IPOB. So there you go, shoot at sight and wipe them all out. That is the message. What says you, Baba Akure, what says you? Shoot at sight and wipe them out.
Well, it is very unfortunate that the position that Nigeria find itself right now, because I actually read about something like that today. But if I don't want to believe that it's true, right? But on the other hand, I will say it is true, because how can you send police to a place, though we know that there's a lot of things that will be going on there? How can you send a police to a place that you should take fight to them? So it means if you take fight to them, who are they? Because you have to specify. Is it ESN you want to take fight to, or IPOB, or who? Or is it general populace? Because indeed, in this context, the way they put it in, so it means both innocent and criminal will be exterminated. So that is what
well, you say you are finding it difficult to believe, but virtually every newspaper reported this. I've just posted 2 links of it. Disregard human rights and wipe them out.
Exactly. So if you say wipe them out,
unbelievable, is that not unbelievable? And they said he said this, by the way, at a meeting organized by heads of other security chiefs and Southeast governors, etc. And he said, of course, they will underpin that with the directive from Buhari that anybody carrying an AK-47 should be gunned down. So just go in there and massacre is essentially the reading.
Yeah, the issue is that we know we'll be talking about this issue of civil war and stuff like that, and we say so many times that it already started. It's not something that we are waiting for. Because if they start like this now, because based on what you just read, they will come to the southwest as well. So it will continue. So the whole country is in anarchy. If they do that, when they come to southwest now, so it is anarchy. So the full blow of civil war started. So it is very unfortunate anyway. It is very unfortunate. And the issue of impeachment of Lawan, you know, this morning I did mention something like that nature. One of the PDP members said that when that motion comes, it's dead on arrival. I cannot remember the name of the guy, but he is the chairman of Niger Delta something. He's a PDP member. He said if before that thing come, it will be dead on arrival. So it means it's one of those that don't want Lawan to go. So what they are doing is, well, it is very unfortunate. That is what I put in for now.
And by the way, Isaac, before I take another sounding, there was another headline that I could have brought, but I'm not going to bring. I'll just give you the headline and not the story. And I think I covered it yesterday as well, that Sunday Igboho has declared his movement in support of the biafra agitation, and to the point that we had Koiki come out to say this in a public notice on our Facebook. So that is categorical.
I read that as well. I read that, and I also because I have a Koiki live on my stuff, so I see that as well when he broadcasted it. So as I said to you, if they started in the east now, definitely they are coming to west, no doubt. Because remember,
and also, by the way, Isaac, sorry to interrupt you. Remember, we've gone through the narrative of the police and the security operatives in the southeast now taking off their uniform, you know, for fear of their life.
Oh, exactly. So when I also see the issue of go out there, they are training some people yesterday, I just laugh. I said, boy, a lot of police again. You just want to. The issue is that it is very funny. Now, British. I am sorry bring this in, but I'm trying to put them together.
Right.
So, British ambassador to Nigeria went to Port Harcourt today and spoke to Amechi, spoke to Weke, that if any of them cause trouble, they are not going to give them anybody that is going to cause trouble in 2023 election. They are not going to give them British visa. They stated, yeah, it is very funny. It is very funny.
You know what Wike should have told that person? Wike should have told them to roll their visa in a nice cylindrical shape and shove it up there.
So you can see what is going on. Nigeria is burning. Nigeria is burning, and you are talking about 2023. Even with the level.
But that might well be their calculation, you know, because of course, if they feel that Nigeria would disintegrate, then they would not be speaking to that narrative. But Hold fire, Ayo, good to see you. Are we now to consider the Eastern region as a theater of war effectively now? Ignore and abandon human rights policies and positions, wipe them all out, be ruthless.
Yeah, it sounds like you know, they're definitely trying to give genocide some legitimacy, and they're not fooling anyone. I mean, I don't even think, it's not even a legal order. If you're a law enforcement or in the military, there's actually, and I'm sure this is in Nigeria as well as most other countries, if you're given an illegal order, you are obligated to ignore it, because you can be tried for
you are right. You are right. That was covered as far back as the Second World War, when the Germans were saying that I was obeying order is no longer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're right.
Exactly. So it's not a viable excuse. So and this just goes to show you the level of intellect. I know we have a lot of people who keep on saying these Fulani people are smart. You can't get a dumber group of people and give them power. This is as dumb as it gets, because if that was the goal, there are a lot more subtle ways to achieve that goal without incriminating yourself. This guy has incriminated himself. If he truly said that...
Remember, they are embarked on an operation show of force in that region.
Right, yeah. I mean, if he truly said that, he's pretty much incriminated himself, and anyone who carries out that order to just wipe people out based on what? I mean, what's the standard? You're just going to see someone and assume the person is a threat without any evidence and just kill them? It's laughable. But this is where we find ourselves now. And if anything, it just goes to show the desperation of the moment and the fact that obviously this union is about to dissolve. So the other thing is, I'm not sure if anyone listened to Dr. Akintoye, Dr. Professor Banji Akintoye today on my show, but he said a lot of...
I listened to that.
Good. He said a lot of things that are, I guess we have been overlooking. So, everyone's worried about the British and the French and them sort of like stepping in to try and keep Nigeria as one because it benefits them. Well, the reality is the USA has already stated their position. They have an ongoing law in the United States where any country that has a large group of people that are being killed or marginalized or eliminated based on their religion, they automatically have to intercede and act on that. Nigeria is the largest.
So how come that has not come into effect yet? Because it's been going on for long enough.
Oh yeah, it has. I mean, it's definitely their steps. So Nigeria has been categorized as a CPC, a country of particular concern. The Nigerian government has been labeled a state sponsor of terrorism, along with Afghanistan and Iran. And so these are steps. These are tangible steps that have to be taken. So anyone who's worrying about the British holding the Fulani's hand can forget it. They're not that stupid. Anyone who's worried about the French as well, they're not going to try and go against the United States. Not only that. Yeah.
Sorry, and this hand across the Niger that we're saying from Sunday Igboho to show solidarity towards the Biafra movement, a new development.
Yeah. So I mean, I would imagine that in everyone's consciousness that would be an expected maneuver, just because they're pretty much asking for the same thing, and their tactics are very similar. They're both populists, both very popular with the people. So that's a consolidation of, in my opinion, what's the word? A nice consolidation of efforts to sort of like leave Nigeria, as a country, and it's definitely a very welcome development. I know there was a little spat between, I don't know if it was a spat, it was, I think Gani Adams said something that maybe it wasn't too flattering about Igbo, but that's really nothing because they're both sort of like fighting for the same objective. So it does seem like things are moving along. The Fulani are just based on how they are. They have overplayed their hand, and they're continuing to do that. So if they feel like they can just order policemen to enter a community and start shooting people, they're not understanding that you can't kill 60 million people. You just can't. I mean, go ask Hitler. You know, you can't just unless you try to round them up in gas chambers, which Hitler actually did. You're still not going to be able to kill. It might sound like something that's possible. It's really just not that easy to do that. So I don't understand what the maybe they're just trying to instill fear. And
yes, because of course they rule by fear, don't they?
Right.
We had a chap in here over the last 2-3 days or so. Saip, his name was. He is based in Nigeria, and he's been saying that everybody's on edge in the country, and they're just waiting for a move, for something that will move them. So do you think this miscalculation that they might be making in the East might well prove to be that trigger point?
I don't think so. I think most people, what they're doing to the Easterners is horrendous. It's barbaric. But the reality is, like, it's been going on for such a long time, we're almost numb to it. You know, it's like, oh, well, you know, when was it? Was it late last year? They were shooting people in Olu. I mean, this has been an ongoing thing for quite a while. The trigger point would be if that order happens in the Southwest. That seems to be the last area of, what's the word? Of some
the last bastion. Yeah,
exactly. They carry out that kind of order in the Southwest, or they have a shootout with the military and some civilians in the Southwest. I think that's going to be the trigger point, and I think they know this.
Or they make the mistake of taking down somebody like Sunday Igboho, which I'm sure they are already calculating to do.
Right? Yeah, I'm sure they would love to, but you know, it has to factor into their calculation at some point that you're not just going to stroll into an area where you've marginalized they've marginalized everyone in Nigeria, including their own people, but you're not going to march into Yoruba land and start shooting people and expect that it's just going to be A-okay, or things are just going to go on like normal. Not because there's a reason for them to do it in Igbo land. It's just because it's been going on there for such a long time, even before a lot of us that are in the Southwest or from the Southwest were even aware. I mean, this has probably been going on for years and years and years. From what I understand, ever since the Biafra War, that has sort of like given the Nigerian establishment the license to treat the Igbos however they want without any recourse. It just seems that way. And they're ramping it up now, and there's just no justice. There's no justice in that country at all. But I think the Yorubas are known internationally as peaceful people. If they try that stuff in Yoruba land, there will be a backlash, and there will be. And I'm not saying there isn't an international backlash right now.
And even to add on to that, Ayo, the weight of it really. If they try that in Yoruba land and they are already raging in the East, and Boko Haram is not relenting in the Northeast, do they even have the strength of capacity to take it on at all fronts?
Yeah, no, exactly. So you would think their priority would be trying to regain their regions back from Boko Haram in Niger State and Borno and all over the north. You would think their priority would be, I mean, it's embarrassing. You have an international terrorist group in control of large swaths of land and communities in Niger State, where Babangida is from, where he was sort of like a president at one point. But it doesn't, and this just goes to show the comfort level of the Fulani with terrorism, chaos, murder, living like animals. It just shows how comfortable they are with that. Their priority is power. Their priority is to impose their will on people, regardless of whether their own people. I mean, Fulanis are probably worse off in the country. I mean, they're definitely not better than any Southerners. So all this power they've had for 60 years, they've maybe had one or two elites like Dangote and Rufai, the jihadist criminal, or whatever, who try to be the face of the Fulani. But the reality is these people are, their development index is below. I mean, it's probably the lowest in Nigeria, if not even in Africa. So that, and this is why it's impossible to live with these people, because even if you give them everything they want, they have no intention of developing their people. They're happy with the way things are, to the point where they want to spread their chaos, their misery, their crime to the rest of the country. I mean, it's truly sad.
Just finally, Ayo, these are posturing and flapping of the feathers and peacocking that they are going to impeach Lawan. Is it just a powder puff paper talk, or should he be worried?
Yeah, no, I'm not giving that any credence at all. They're not. I mean, Fulani, and he's doing exactly what the leadership wants him to do. So, you know, obviously Nigerian Senate is a rubber stamp Senate. They're not going to oppose anything Buhari doesn't want. Buhari is in France begging for money.
The southern senators are looking to impeach him, or at least to make moves. Even if they succeed or not, at least to embarrass him into that position.
Sure. And finally, it looks like at least the southern governors are beginning to grow some spine. It's probably not going to yield any it's not going to yield any concrete results, but at least shows that they're willing to take a position, and they're getting stronger and stronger in their maneuvering in opposing the current government. I mean, this is ridiculous. What is Buhari doing in France, begging for $6 billion? Are you kidding?
And loan forgiveness as well. He's begging for money and loan forgiveness. This guy must be on another planet.
You know, I hate quoting Lord Lugard, because he's pretty much the architect of all this. He's pretty much the architect of all this confusion. But he described the Fulani as these people. He called them spendthrifts with no desire to civilize themselves, and that's exactly what they are. They feel like, if we can find people to borrow us money, just collect the money and distribute it among the elites and just spend it, and maybe fund some more terrorism. So it would be really sad if they're giving some money.
Because sometimes you want to attribute some intelligence to situations, and I was speculating on a three-dimensional chess being played by these people to borrow the country into bankruptcy and break it up. Then, of course, nobody is obliged to that money.
Well, that's going to fail. Thankfully, the force majeure that Niners has put forward a few months ago has pretty much put the world community on notice. You borrow Nigerian money at your own risk. So if we break up, especially anything after that force majeure, and the Biafrans and the Oduduwans go their way, if you're a country that has lent Nigeria money and you expect to be paid back by these regions, you might want to start thinking long and hard about it right now. I'm not saying they won't borrow Nigeria money, or they won't try to get repaid somehow from these regions, but it's not as easy as it has been in the past, where everything was legit. No one has been opposing, further loans to Nigeria until now. So I don't know if they're going to get any money. I hope they don't. But even if they do, that's just obviously going to complicate things, because these guys, it almost seems like they're deliberately trying to run the country into the ground.
There's no other reading apart from that, because, and these people loaning them money, by the way, because the international convention now is to attach the loaning to a project now. So you don't just write a check against the sovereignty, but write it to a project to say, okay, you are borrowing for this specific project. So we will release that money in a staggered phase as that project continues to evolve. But it looks as though, because of the wealth of the country, people are just attaching the borrowings to the oil fields and say, okay, take the money, and if you don't pay, we just take your oil. It's a nonsense. But thank you, Ayo. James, are we now to be in James, are we now to be inured to the fact that the Igbo people will now be used as a target practice for the Nigerian police?
Is it me?
Yes, are Igbo people now target practice for Nigerian police?
Well, for me, I think for the security agent in the country, they understand that they are on their last bus stop. They don't even have what it takes to carry out what they have ordered. First of all, you know, it just, for me, I took it like two dimensions. First, it's just a kind of a threat, just to threaten people, create fear, and see the reaction on ground. But I will tell you, this is the worst miscalculation from Fulani. If they start it, it's going to spread to everywhere in the south, in the twinkle of an eye. But however, the Igbo politicians, like as Ayo said, that for a very long time, they have been killing people there. Let me tell you, they don't go there without the approvals of the governors. Have this one in your mind. So they operate with their political leader.
Sorry, James. This meeting that they were alleged to have had, where this guy was alleged to have made this statement, it was with all the southeastern governors and all the security structures within the southeast.
Yeah. So it is not left for the Igbo leader to calculate the risk that they are taking, because if they put their life on the line, because definitely Nigeria government is not going to succeed to achieve that shoot aside in the eastern region without creating a total chaos. We are already at war. It's just that the certain people want peace, but they don't want to pick arms. As I told you the other time we were having discussion, if our leaders, both traditional and the politicians, are not careful, I tell you, warlord will pick this country in the twinkle of an eye, and that will be very, very dangerous. Look at somebody like Igbo and look at how popular it is today. It's popular because people are fed up. Educated people, politicians are not ready to help their people. And that concept is growing. That feeling is getting momentum. So I will assure you, the federal government just want to threaten, they just want to threaten these people, believing maybe they will create an atmosphere of fear. That we, you know,
but James, you say that feeling is getting momentum. Is it just getting momentum on the internet with people like us gathering and just lamenting, or is it getting momentum on the streets? Because if we use Sowore as an example, by the samplings online, Sowore would have won the presidency hands down, but by the facts on the ground, he scored less than 40,000 votes. So is all this lamentation of Sodom, is it just internet talk by people like us that just come online to wail and chant?
No. Sowore is calling for revolution. But currently, people are fed up with Nigeria. It's a different thing. Sowore is calling for something that he believes that will help us to fix Nigeria to be good. But many Nigerians have come to the terms that Nigeria will not work. So that is why you have people like Igbo become so popular. And I will tell you, like the fact is, if they start this force, it's going to trigger a very deadly scenario. Remember, in the Niger Delta already, there is already a proclamation that the oil company should leave that place already.
Yes, no, I was coming to that. I was going to put that to Ovie.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, automatically, when you look at the Southeast and the Niger Delta, we are one. Other mind they say South-South, or whether Southeast, or whether Southwest. Now, we have to check another thing again. The danger is this. I hate when people use hand to beat their chest. Our enemy, they are ready to fight. They have a strategy. They have pushed so hard, and they don't want to go back, because going back may hurt them. This is what they believe. And like what Mr. Ayo said about the United States, I will assure you, my brother, nobody should trust United States when they come to issue of this nature.
The United States are politicians mainly.
States are not going to offer us anything. We shouldn't deceive our people. I will give you my
only loyalty that the Americans have is to the dollar, nothing else.
So look at the Kurd. The Kurdistans from the Middle East, how they fought and what they promised them, and later they dumped them. Now, when you look at Nigeria, America will be willing to help us. But I will tell you, there is nothing they come in there to do without the approval of the United Kingdom and France. France interest, when it comes to Cameroon, yeah.
Let him finish, and then now you're coming.
I will give you some chance. When you look at Cameroon, the leader there has been ruling that country for so long. They don't talk, but nothing is moving forward because the man is ruling it peacefully for France. Now, if there is crisis in the southern part, definitely it is going to affect the group that is already calling for breakup, the Anglophone, English-speaking part of that Cameroon. So automatically, France don't want those
okay, James, let Ayo respond quickly to what you said so we can hear that voice.
Yeah.
So Ayo, effectively, you people are just after the dollar, nothing else.
So this is the misconception that the US is going to send troops or give the different regions financial assistance. The US role has nothing to do with that. That is not where we need the US to come in. The only area where the US comes in that is meaningful and that has the most impact is with the UN. France can veto; they're a permanent member of the UN. The UK can veto; they're a permanent member of the UN. If the US is in support of Nigeria breaking up or the UN conducting a referendum, which it's going to get to, the UN, France and the UK are not going to veto something the US supports. So that's the only reason why we need the US. We don't need them to send us soldiers. We don't need them to send us money. We just need them to support the referendum in the UN, and they have already pretty much stated the position they're in. Don't forget, the US was, the whole purpose of the United States was the pilgrims were escaping religious persecution in Europe. That is why they have that outstanding law that any country in the world where people are being killed based on religious reasons, they automatically have to, it doesn't have to go through Congress and all that. They have a standing law that they automatically have to intervene. Nigeria is the #1 country on the planet right now where people are being persecuted because of their religious beliefs. That is why the United States was set up to begin with. So, you know, if you understand the history of the United States and where Nigeria is going, you would see that where, in addition to the fact that the Igbos and Yorubas have a lot in common with Western culture, even if we didn't, just based on the religious aspect of things, the US has to, I shouldn't say have to, they don't have to do anything, but they're likely to remain an ally of Southern Nigeria. But we're not looking to them for, they're not after our money. Trust me, Nigeria has no money.
And is this move now that is being alleged?
I wanted to say something here. You know, when it comes to the United Kingdom, France, and America, when any issue they want to, you know, they want to support, or any group they want to support, they always have what I call backyard conversation, which me and you will not be there. And any resolution they agreed upon is what they are going to implement. Yeah. So the fact is this: the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria is our enemy want to push us into crisis. And once we are in crisis, who will give us a referendum? This is the question. And once we are in, will the British support these people again, like what they did in the past?
James, you're absolutely correct. When it comes to world policy, the world powers align, and they see where the natural alliance is, and they all go for it. This is a core American principle. This is what you don't understand. This country was founded because of that kind of situation, okay? Many hundreds of years ago. So this is a core American principle. So there is no backroom negotiation. This is what America stands for. So there's no backroom, and Britain understands that. The United Kingdom understand that they are not going to oppose the US. If the US decides, which all indication is they are, if the US decides they're going to support our UN referendum, which it's likely going to get to, the French will not step in to veto it, and the UK will not step in to veto it. You can take that to
But what about Russia? Because somebody was pointing Russia and China in the comment section that because the Chinese, of course.
Russians hate Muslims. So because of Chechnya and all that. So as far as Russia is concerned, that's a done deal. The only risk we may have is China, because China their policy is immoral. They don't have a moral position on anything.
No, just go in there and take the resources. That's the only.
But it just definitely just seems like this particular issue is just so egregious that even the Chinese would have to have or need a what's the word? They would need to have some sort of propelling goal to oppose the other great nations on this. So I don't know, but the countries I would initially be worried about would be the UK and France, because they like to play games, and those are the guys who are benefiting from, especially the UK, benefiting from the way Nigeria is, but they're not going to oppose the US on this issue.
And by the way, France has a new Nigerian policy, because there's a lot of focus on Nigeria in France at the moment, especially because you know that France, of course, is always held up by its colonies. So it's the resources of Africa that holds France especially up, and they are focusing on Nigeria now. But what I'm not yet clear on is, are they focused on Nigeria, one Nigeria, or are they focused, or is their policy to a breakup of Nigeria? James, let me shuffle you, and Isaac as well. Let me shuffle you as well, just for the volume of people that are waiting.
Let me wrap up something here.
Okay, quickly add something. Yeah, go on.
Like what you said about France, have it in the back of your mind. No matter what happens in Nigeria, the interest of France and the interest of United Kingdom is first. Just no matter what the American is trying to create for us or the assistance they are trying to give to us, they are still coming to consult the colonial master, because they always work hand in hand. So for me, I think what France is doing is this. Remember the past civil war? We don't have to rely on these people. They supply arms to the biafra, but it gets to a point they wanted to involve, and the United Kingdom signal them, you cannot do it. And they have a reason to back off. So
to add on to that, there's just that loose understanding that Nigeria is still effectively, if not British property, at least something that they will go via Britain first, because of course it's a British creation, just like the Francophones, they always go via France before they intercede as well.
The entire country in the continent of Africa is either France or Britain, or maybe a few other European countries first. So this fact is there, and we shouldn't brush it aside. So thank you very much for featuring me, and can also feature another person. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're right.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I was just going to say.
No, you can still hear you. Yeah.
James is definitely right, but he needs to remember Nigeria has been designated as a country that sponsors terrorism, and we're also a CPC. So that alone is disqualifying to any other Western power that wants to support Nigeria as it is. Being that those two things have already taken place.
But what impact have they had on Nigeria in terms of policy positioning or any actual quantifiable thing?
This is how America rules the world. America has standing policy that all countries recognize. So they don't have to say, hey, you do this, hey, you don't do that. If they designate a country as a state sponsor of terrorism, and any nation on the planet decides to do business with that country, they're automatically ostracized. Nigeria is a state sponsor of terrorism. France cannot do business with Nigeria in the way that they may have done in the past, and the same thing with the UK, or support a Nigerian cause. And I know we're all skeptics and we all feel Nigeria is a failure and this and that. This has nothing to do with Nigeria. This has to do with how the US controls the world, which it does by far. And the US is not interested in Nigeria's money. The UK may be, but the UK cannot jeopardize their relationship with the United States by trying to further the chaos that a state sponsor of terrorism and a country that has been labeled a country of particular concern by the US. They're not going to jeopardize their position with the US by trying to go against the U.S. position, and that's just, you can take that to the bank as well.
Okay. So Ovie, the Ijaw youths say that they want to. I don't know why you feeding back.
First of all, man,
But the Ijaw youths are saying they want all companies out of Ijaw land. And the police are using the Igbos as shooting practice, and the Yorubas want Lawan out of the Senate, and I am hearing myself back from your system. So all four, you might want to start with the feedback first. Why am I feeding back from you?
Feedback? Where's that coming from?
From you.
Really? How does it sound?
Yeah. I speak and then I hear myself back. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, it's from you. Let me make sure everybody's muted. Yes, it's from you. Yeah. When I speak, I hear myself back, and everybody hears me back. Yeah, no, you can hear me clearly, but you can hear me twice. Okay, let me give you the chance to fix the gremlin, and let's go to who you help. So who you help? The state of play. The Igbos as shooting practice, and yeah. Can you hear me? Who you help?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the Igbos. We have again echoing back. So the Igbos are shooting practice. The Yorubas moving against Lawan, etc., and the position that Ayo has just fleshed out for us now. So what says you?
I always started with the so-called Yoruba against Lawa. Those are politicians. We should forget about them. They are not going to do anything. Those are just propaganda talks. They don't.
Do you think they are just doing it just to mark the register that in the future, when people are saying what they do, they can then just start saying, well, yeah.
That is how it goes. You have to understand this. When Lawa was coming into power, and then we know when we talk about this situation. I'm hearing myself again.
Yeah, it's a obvious system. Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
You know, when we talk about this situation, we have to start from the beginning. Like in 1999, when the Constitution was given to us, and then when Obasanjo came into power, and then up till, you know, I'm not a fan of Obasanjo, even though I can call him Baba or anything. But I've told you in the afternoon or 2 days ago, like Obasanjo should have did more because he was a ex-military general. He understands the system. He moved with the Northerners more than any other places in Nigeria. Obasanjo was a stooge to the Northerners. So he understands the system, but he didn't do anything. Yes, the power was not, he knew all the general. He retired those one he think they can actually hurt him. He retired them. He understands everything. But because of his own selfish interest, he let everything roll by until Boko Haram came in. He did not quench Boko Haram, but he went to Odi and killed everybody in Odi. But he didn't do anything with the Boko Haram because they are from the north.
It was under Obasanjo, was it not, that the 12 northern states declared Sharia law and he did nothing?
Yes.
In a secular state?
Yes. You know, Baba did not do anything because his ambition was the third tenor, and because also he was having problem with Atiku. And then, you know, people don't go into the history of the genesis why everything is like this. Now, let's come back to the reality now. When Buhari was in office in the first time, they could have impeached him easily. When he went for this long holiday, who stand against everything? Saraki. Bukola
No. You are mistaken to say that. Saraki actually, you remember when the DSS moved into the Senate and seized it? Saraki was actually moving to impeach Buhari, by my reckoning, and by what was being reported in the papers.
That was a false story. Saraki was not planning to impeach Buhari. Saraki did not plan to impeach Buhari. What happened is this. When they gathered in the meeting to actually bring the motion out, the motion was quenched immediately. Now, what happened? Saraki now realized that he cannot be a Senate president anymore if he lost the election. So he now switched to PDP. He and his stooge, Dino Melaye. So let's forget about those people and everybody. The point is this: those people who are calling that they will impeach Lawan, why didn't they call up since how many years they have been in the Senate to impeach Buhari in the first place? So those are propaganda. We should forget about it. I think for me, if you are going to use the eastern part of Nigeria for your training feed to kill people, I think, and then like I don't know, like is it James that said we should not trust the French, or we should not trust the Britain or the America? For me, would I believe what Ayo was saying? I don't think I would believe it. Do you know why? Nigeria has been going through this shitty stuff. What have they done? Nigeria has been going through this shitty stuff for many years. Did America came up and say, oh, they are marginalizing the Christian because they have their own interest? Ayo said they don't need that Nigeria.
I think the Americans have made quite a few pronouncements over the last 2-3 years or so regarding the persecution of Christians within the Nigerian space.
To say this. Yeah. You can make it. You can say something. You can speak. Everybody has a voice. Everybody can say something. But what did they do? What did they do? It's not like speaking.
No, hold on, because Ayo just told us now that Nigeria has been designated as a CPC, he called it country of particular concern, which is a tiered, and they've also put Nigeria, by the way, as a tier 3 categorization in terms of countries to visit. So they are taking policy positions with regards to the situation in Nigeria.
Let me put it this way. If you are going to do all these things, you need to start to sanction those people who are connected to the criminal element. That's how we know you are working. It's not like you just say something. We all know all these things. Every American company in the
What would you like to see? You want them to send in troops?
No, it's not about troop. I just told you right now. Why don't they sanction those people they know that was connected to the system, to the terrorist organization?
But did they not do that during the Edo election when they revoked visas and went in heavy, especially the British, to insist that election? Did you not follow the news during the Edo election?
Oh, see,
when they threatened their assets and they told them they would seize their assets and they would not allow them into the United Kingdom.
Okay, let's put it this way.
This was what made Obaseki win that election.
No, let's put it this way. It's not British. We should forget about that. The point is this.
Maybe you did not follow. That was exactly what happened.
No. I disagree. Do you know why I disagree? Do you know why I disagree? When this guy, former Prime Minister of British, called Nigeria a perfect corrupt nation, when you call people that they are corrupt, you know those who are corrupt, and then they are still bringing their money to your country, and then the money is not being sent back. Those people has not been arrested by bringing those money.
No. Where you are going already is I would not call it naive, but maybe you are a bit too elegant in the way you are thinking about it. Why would they stop the money from coming in when they want the money to come in? If you are dumb enough to loot your own country and bring it to their country, why would they say this is what Dubai is doing as well? Dubai is a haven for stolen money.
Okay, this is why I told you what you just said right now is a gullible statement from them. It's just it's just a statement that will make Nigeria to think, oh, they are with us. They are not with us. They are after everything. Okay, let's put it this way. If you are telling me that America is going to fight this, British is going to do this, France is going to do that, in the first instance, they are, like James said, every one of them are for their own interest. For example, Paul Biya in Cameroon has been there for how many years? And Paul Biya has been killing the Anglophone people for many, many years. The French keep silent. You understand? So
but you have to take into consideration the profile of a country like Nigeria. Nigeria is the largest black democracy, it's the largest black population, and I don't think the world can afford Nigeria to implode, because if the world if Nigeria implodes, the entirety, not just West Africa, the entire world will feel the impact, because of course that dinghy boats that they get on in Libya, they will be swimming, forget the boats, they will be swimming into Europe and saying you either shoot us or take us in. So
thank you. That's why you will understand what I'm trying to say to you right now, that they are not going to come in to save anybody from the Yoruba or anybody from the Igbo. They will still continue to support the power that is being, the power that has been, to quench all this agitation, to make sure nobody has that authority to fight the system. Because they know
with the things, with the state of play that we have now, the
yes,
state of play that we have now is a new dynamic. You know, it's a new dynamic. We're in uncharted waters within the Nigerian space.
Woman, you just said it right now, that the space is not there for them to contain 200 million people. So when the space is not there, they are not going to be the one that make it to blow up. So who are the people that is going to make it blow up? Is the civilian, is the masses.
Yes, but the thing is, why would they not then support the facilitation for the balkanization of the country and let the will of the people of the nations be as it has been in Sudan and countless other countries, even in the
How many
former
people
Soviet
die in
Union?
Sudan? Did the Sudan get their own for free? Did they get it for free?
But people are dying now.
People have not died in Nigeria. They have not been carrying. Has Nigeria been like the civil war? No. Sudan, there was civil war. They fight, and they sit down, they negotiate until they leave. Now, nobody is negotiating now in Nigeria.
Okay.
Nobody is negotiating. So the point, what I'm trying to say is this. It's not that things cannot work out. Things can work out. But the problem is this. Who are those people that want to sit on the table to discuss? Who can you point out? Point out from the south, point out from the south, southwest, southeast, the northern part. Point out who you want to sit down among the group elite of Nigeria to discuss how are we going to separate ourselves in a
there are
peaceful
countless
way.
people, Professor Akintoye, the Ooni of Ife, the lead names in Yoruba land.
Let me see. When we talk about people who can speak, leave anybody that have a position in Nigeria, anybody that has title in Nigeria.
Speak? Who can speak then? Because,
Thank you. Nobody can speak. Do you know why nobody can speak?
Right.
Because every one of them, they are in the system of Nigeria where they eat the money. For example, let's take it for example. Do you know why the Northerners did not want Nigeria to split? You just read the Constitution today. And Ovie have said this like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago about the Constitution. Me and Ovie talk about the Constitution. So you also read it today. That's why those people who are tied to the king and then the governor, the Senate, that's why they are not going to support the movement of Nigeria splitting. Do you know why? One of the other reasons is this. The guy from Canada say they have their police in their local government. Their council.
Isaac is name.
Yeah, Isaac said that. So now let me even make it clear to you now.
Akure now. It's Baba Akure now.
Baba Akure.
But it was anyway. This man, we are going to monitor you. Don't worry.
You know, when Ovie say about the Constitution, I also mentioned that very day that Ovie, the Constitution is our problem. I agree, but our governors and our local government chairman, our councillor, they are not doing anything because the Constitution did not give them the priority to establish themselves to do some good stuff. Okay, for example, do you know what is happening in Nigeria? The money that they allocate to the state, the governor can just call if they have like 30 local government chairman in Delta State, for example, the governor can call all the 30 states, and then probably the 30 local government, their salary, their money allocated to the local government probably is 13 billion. For example, each local government, let's assume each local government get 20 million. He just called a local government chairman, sign here that you collect 20 million. He just gave him 10 million. And then the guy will now go. Before he started, that's why you saw them paying people half salary. That's why you saw the whole people's salary. It's not because the money was not there. It's because of the constitution had to break everything
yes,
down.
When I went through that constitution in the afternoon session, it was quite an alarming document. But let's hear from Ovie. Ovie, your boys are in the creeks are now rolling to the streets to chase out the oil people. And of course, the Igbos are shooting target practice for the police, according to the reports. We can't hear you now. Ovie, what's wrong with you today? Is it that thing that you're smoking that is No. You this man. Yeah, Ayo was telling us that they designated Nigeria as a country of concern. We're going to designate you, Ovie, as a person of concern. We can hear you faintly, but carry on. Yeah, faintly. Well, you tell him. Can you hear me? Who you help? Can you hear him? Unmute yourself.
The same echo is happening.
Can you hear him? Who you help?
I'm hearing him now.
Okay, speak, Ovie.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Okay, is it clearer now?
Yeah. So your boys from the creek and the Igbos are shooting practice.
Before I come to that, I hope AY and James are hearing.
James is hearing, but I think Ayo has gone off to do other things. But I'm sure he's listening in some form.
Tomorrow, una go say they no go Greek borrow Nigeria money again. Una go back and all with all international law. Today, una go come say una don't hear the Buhari day also for 6 billion for France. Then the situation is changing. I think what I noticed from those two guys is that they listen to too much of international news. Because if with the news we they listen to from Nigeria, I mean, if you still listen to the AGF a couple of hours ago, it's waiting at it also is a different reality than what's actually happening. Negotiation don't start. Wait till now they talk America again. That is to America. Tomorrow, when I no one or their company again, they should leave Nigeria. All the chevrons and the rest should go. Then today, when I come back and I say yes, when I will need their help and all that, I mean, what do you guys want? You guys should focus on what is happening in Nigeria. Forget the international community. They have their own interests. Moreover, America is in a decline economy right now. So they need every savage country to strangle. And Nigeria, they cannot. I mean, 50 million population in next 30 to 40 years. It's a big deal for United States, not to talk of any other country. So all this division, so it will not happen. Now, talking about...
what do you mean it will not happen? You're just so casual
No, it's not
the people
casual.
are saying... No, the people... Are you not hearing what the people are saying?
It is not... They are saying it, but it's just because...
But has it not happened in the world? Has it not happened in the world before? What makes Nigeria the exception? Bigger countries are falling.
Give me an example where it started today and it ends tomorrow. You know they happen like that.
It's not starting today. It has started in 1967.
The international community owner they refer to are already projecting Nigeria to be 50 million in the next 30 years. So what is this? As in, I don't understand. As in, are we living in a different space?
Yes, the projection is the projection. The reality is the reality. The people are saying they have had enough.
On underground, Buhari is in France because of our relationship within the Sahara Desert. If you now them they control that region. That's why it's there, coupled with the 6 billion. So it's there to don't be then when I say when they find weapon from another. No, the narrative is just totally two-sided. I don't understand. Now, talking of police being deployed to Ebonyi State, is it that what you are talking about?
Yeah, no. According to the
not just Bonnie.
Yeah, according to the reports,
that's what
is just what you forget human rights whatever and just wipe them out. Exterminate is the word that they are attributing.
They arrive at Ebonyi State. Umaya actually is the host of that 5 different battalion or whatever name you call them. Now, in the call there, if you go back politically again, this is a man that they come to APC a couple of weeks, months ago. is a lone art in that region. Of course, you need every security you deserve at this point in time. So una too they read far to all these things. It doesn't work like that. This is not political move be that. Question the man that is hosting the whole arrival of those people.
Yeah,
And
but that is the question though, because apparently, according to this report, he said this actually in front of the Southeast governors who were his host at that security summit regarding that region, that exterminate them effectively was the message. Forget human rights and exterminate.
So they even came to our own house, sit down for inside our living room, declare that thing, and our men clap for them, give them beer, drink, they go back. And we they hear they raise high tension. 2023 is real. The new sheriff is coming to town. That's what you are seeing. Everybody is giving it a shot ever. Violently, whatever, if you get noticed. Listen to the permutation that is going on the local TVs. You understand what is going on. Even the
I think you are mistaken to disregard the body language of the people, and this is what a lot of people do. They are so subsumed by politicking that they don't vest it in realism, because a lot of people are saying
politics is real. It has to do with
the reality of the people. Look, the reality of the people in Nigeria sits outside of 2023 at the moment. You've heard Saib say on this platform severally that the country is on edge. You've heard Makinde say it.
And
these are people on the ground, and
I'm telling you why
in
it's
Texas,
on edge. You guys are just looking at the symptoms. Why is it happening? I'm telling you why it's happening. Go and listen to the AGF, the Attorney General of the Federation, a couple of hours ago. It tells you what is happening. As time goes on, you go see
what did he say?
How the people who are sponsoring this, whatever that is going on, how they will run it on one by one. As time goes on, Ibori money is being shared now. Why now?
How much is Ibori's money? 6 million.
They are going after other two men again within this space of period before 2023. Everything just is a point. Connect the dots. You understand what is going on. Yes, there's a tension, but the reason why there's a tension is because most of those guys believe that they have the right to be the number one citizen of the country, and that's what you are seeing.
Are you vesting the agitations that we're seeing within this space as being political? Or are you saying Nnamdi Kanu is being propelled and Sunday Igboho is being propelled by political puppet masters?
They have a genuine reason. Trust me, today I can wake up.
So do you acknowledge that? And do you acknowledge the reality of that genuine reason? Because you seem to just disregard it.
Every Nigerian have a right to be hungry up, to be happy with the country. So yes, I will not decide. I will not just push the agitation aside. But I'm telling you today, it's being fueled by this same politician. And I told you, this thing will never stop in as far as there's money to be made. There's opportunity to be created by these same people. So it will never stop. Agitation is part of us. It's a normality. We will all feel marginalized at one point or the other. So all these things that happen is because of what is coming.
And to this language that they're attributing to the Inspector General of Police, disregard human rights and exterminate them.
My question is that
the language of genocide.
What is the response of our elites to this kind of statement? You remember, anytime we react, just look at their own reaction to our government meeting. They reacted violently, even though with words. What is our own reaction? That is what you'll be looking at. Our men will come, they go ask them, they go paint the story as if because they are aiming at something, and that is more important to them. Us. They don't care. 90% of every citizen anywhere are not being represented. It's not just in Nigeria. It's a fact everywhere. Now politics is now the same textbook that they read, both in America and in India and everywhere. New sheriff is coming to town. Follow police all over the world. It's always like that. Tension will come. Nigeria just happened to be, politicians just happen to be capitalizing on what is already on ground. Ethnicity, religion, peace, marginalization, and all those crap. So we are giving them reason to keep
okay. Let's hear a voice in focus. Abia, Ovie is saying that a lot of this is just politics and money game. All these things that we're hearing from Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu, etc. But then, of course, what we're hearing, the attribution we're hearing from the Inspector General of Police is that for the forces to disregard and set aside human rights and exterminate the agitation, especially in the Southeast. And that meeting, by the way, where this attribution is coming from, was held with the governors in the Southeast. Bia.
Well, OVA looks like someone who is practicing to fit into one of the shoes of those politicians in Nigeria. It's like what he's trying to say is that although other countries in the world have their political setup, so as dirtily corrupt as a Nigerian kind of politics, we should accept that because we've ugly sins, things that are horrific, things that humiliate the basic fundamental human right of every person. You know, it's become a norm now that we are desensitized to the wiping out of certain people because other people believe it's not happening to them. If a Nigerian politician kills OVA's sister, I don't think he will take it. It will be a different music. You know, the way we are desensitized in Nigeria is like you're on your own. You know,
sorry, Bia, but that thing is something that bothers me. We are desensitized. We are talking about human lives, and people are permutating it in a political calculus, and you know, because of course, what we already know what is going to happen in the Southeast, if what we're hearing is true, and people, it's just been, you know, swept to one side as just a political.
Ovia, let me finish, please. Ovia, you had your chance.
Sorry, carry on, Bia. Yeah,
Ovia, respect, man, please. Thank you. I believe that the man, the drunken, stupid man that's whatever he is, I don't even call him anything. He's just in position. I don't think he's well educated enough to know that every human being deserves the right to agitate or to speak up as long as they are not doing things that they shouldn't do. Whether he meant it or not, there are things you don't say. Even as politicians, they should be held accountable. They should be responsible for their words. They should not make the young people growing up to become or aspiring to be politicians copy. They're trying to make their words or their evil words to be a norm. So if that sort of politics are happening in Nigeria, I call it, I don't think it's politics. I don't see it as politics. So it can be defined as zoo, where people make the people in power make the laws and break it. And I can understand VA's point that these politicians, they are the ones that are playing the music. They decide when they put on the music.
Even for IPOB? Even for IPOB?
They are triggering. They are the one playing the music. IPOB is responding, and I salute them for responding. Now they don't like anyone who responds back, and that's why they are trying to crush them. And I believe every other Nigerian that is watching and saying, "Oh, I'm not IPOB," well, it will come to you somehow, one way or the other. You don't even know where your brethren or younger one has traveled the next day. You know, flying bullet don't know any. It doesn't recognize who is IPOB or not. When an IG would say, you know, just open fire regardless of any basic human right.
It's almost unbelievable.
Yeah, and then that woman in this country, they voted out of EU because of refugees. Imagine how much they don't like foreigners. And they are happy to go and steal our money. All the atrocities, they are the one. In fact, it's not even the Fulanis, it is the UK that are ruling Nigeria. And I don't know why they didn't even stone that woman. She had the guts to go and sit beside the UK. That Katrina Lang or whatever they call her.
Oh yeah, the British.
She had the guts. Imagine shamelessly saying that anyone who creates any atrocity, no visa for them. Doesn't she know that not everyone even want to come to the UK? UK is not the UK the way it used to be before. They've left the bloc that gave them the power, man. They are finished. What is UK? IPOP even rejected their asylum, whatever. Do they think that the most important thing for a child, an unborn child of a Nigerian citizen, is to come to the UK? Why don't they allow Nigeria to cater for their life? Stop meddling. Respect Nigeria as a country. I don't blame them. Who is that woman? I don't think she's even learned.
Okay, I think Ovie wants to respond to something you said.
Yes, regarding, I mean, not just her. A lot of people are saying that, oh, we are not immune to, people are dying. We are saying this, we are saying that. We should put politics aside. See, what we fail to understand is that politics is how human beings even socialize. That is our way of life. So the earlier you recognize it and follow the principles, that's how the better for you. That's why we keep crying. People will die because we are human beings that are playing this game. Not be animals they play them. You can't be expecting human beings to be playing the game, make chicken and fowl they die. It doesn't work like that. So now you have to understand how these people move. Now money they move everything. People use, as I use the show as an example the other time. That guy they make noise for street of Lagos because they get $10 million for an account. And he will do everything to
come,
make
are
sure
you his banker? Where are you getting this 10 million?
Let me respond.
Research.
Can
Do your
I
research.
respond
And that publicly.
please?
Research.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, politics.
Now
Every
when they play
human
the
being.
politics. Yes,
Yeah,
that's how we socialize. That's
we
how
all
we
play.
date ourselves. That's how we make friends. It's true give and take.
Yeah, we all play politics over here.
Yes.
We play politics, but why don't they start playing politics with their own families, their own, close relatives? They say they put you in power to play politics. You should practice what you preach. You can't just make rules and then break it.
Those are just statements.
No,
this is if you go follow that human first.
No, this is not emotional now. No, this is not.
No, his interest comes first.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait, it's not emotional.
Let me put a question to Bia so that. Hold on,
Put your interest first before your people. Forget this one where I will come tell you.
This is not emotions of you. Someone comes down and shoot you in your leg. Come on, be realistic.
Let me put a question to Bia or to Bia so I can get other voices in as well. Bia, this new development now of the Ijaw youths asking the oil workers to get out of town. This is a new dynamic to add on to already the IPOB agitation and the Oduduwa agitation. So the boys in the creeks are now coming up, they're resurfacing. What are you making of that? Or are they just after money as usual?
I think the Nigerian government are lucky because not everyone in Nigeria can access the internet. Maybe the Ogbologbos, the more even deadlier people who don't even hear go or come, that can take actions, don't even know what is happening. Maybe people in diaspora even know more than the people living inside there until, But the other people, the Ijaw, I don't know if they have the balls. Nigeria, for us to get out of this mess, we need the ball somehow. Something is gonna have to be.
Because of course, for anything to change, that is the only space that can change anything in that country.
We just have to one way or the other, whatever happens. Those Ijaw people, I don't know. But if they give them money is very tempting.
You know how they love money over there. Yeah.
If someone is hungry, but maybe if they collect the money, maybe the other brethren should fight them for betraying them because we are all in it together. So why should you go and destroy this movement? We should all be one. We shouldn't fight this fight separately. And I know there are some people here who don't agree. Maybe some of you are working for the Nigerian government and you come here and try to preach one Nigeria. Let them shoot your own sister, just like the way they're killing people.
Let them not shoot anybody's
sister.
No,
let them shoot you in your own leg, Ovie. Shoot you. Let them cripple you.
No, Ovie is
when you come here, you won't even have mouth to smoke again.
Ovie is an athlete now. Ovie is an athlete now. Why would you want to?
Yeah, let him lose his 2 legs and let him play politics on wheelchair.
No, you won't lose anything, Ovie. Let's hear from CN.
All of us will die.
Nobody lose your 2 legs on wheelchair.
No. We don't want that. We don't want that.
We don't know how and we don't know when. So why you there?
If that happens, then how will people come here to come and listen to Ovie? It provides entertainment value.
I'm not going to live forever. I'm not going to live forever. I don't know when I'm going to die. I don't know how. So is everyone.
Okay.
So
let me reach 100,000 subscribers before anything happens to you.
When you're talking politics from outside, it's different from when you're wearing that shoe.
It is not different. I did Nigeria. When I did go Nigeria, it was as if I did.
Ovie, let's hear from CN. CN,
what says you? Will never work.
What says you to this narrative of the supposed, the alleged pronouncements from the Inspector General of Police and the conversation as it's progressing?
Yes, good evening, one man, and
good evening.
My greetings as well, please. My greetings as well to all the contributors. The last time I checked, I have not seen where such an order from an inspector general of police of a given country gave an order that sounded quite illegal. And I can tell you from the way I'm thinking about this, I do not think that that order was actually given to the Nigerian police that had professional training.
Just to interrupt you, CN, I think what they're saying, and this is just according to newspaper reports, of course, because we've not had direct soundings of him, but what is predicating that upon is the Buhari instruction that anybody carrying an AK-47 should be shot, which was directed at the Fulani headsmen, but it's now leveraging that in the southeast.
Yeah, I know where I'm driving at some point here. You don't tell the police to kill anybody, even if that person is with AK-47. After having gone through a professional training, they don't train them there to go and kill with anybody that has a gun. It's not done that way. I am telling you what we are experiencing right now is declaration of war to an indigenous people. Because when you say IPOB, IPOB is indigenous people. Are you getting nobody in his face when you come to the East is written IPOB? How can you distinguish one person from another person? Everybody is IPOB in the East, either by way
not everybody. IPOB is an Igbo project. We've already agreed on that.
What do you mean? I think we're educating ourselves. So sometimes when we are talking, okay, it is good to listen to each other. First,
right.
I am just trying to explain something to you. We listen to each other. If you are telling me what is in the West right now,
but what you are saying, what you are saying misdirects. Please, because of course,
let us, yeah. One man, I don't want us to, argue over one statement or the other. The issue is they are coming. When they finish with IPOB, wherever they have designated the name ECN and all that, they will also go to the other indigenous people. Okay, you rightly said they just wanted to use us as sample, but I tell you, the good news is that the dynamics has really changed. Okay.
This is what Ovie is not recognizing, that the dynamics has changed. He thinks it's politics as usual.
I was giving you the reason why it changed. I'm not saying it's not changing, but there's a reason for that.
The current time is more sophisticated. And the dynamics in the sense that's changed, in the sense that knowledge is pretty much available. It is no longer that time you come with your Python dance, you dance and you walk away. It is no longer the time you come with crocodile tears, you do whatever you do, you just go away. And please, one moment, Ovie, I don't know how long you've lived in the United States, because every time you talk, you make reference to US and Nigeria, which I will tell you
is an American man now. It's just still
politically, yes.
No, I am coming.
Politically, they are one.
Yeah, I'm coming. Ovie, you know one thing about him, I like him all, but the problem is that today is not his good time. You know what I'm saying? Do you know why I say this?
The one thing you have to give Ovie is he's never moved from this position that he has.
Consistent. He's very consistent. Very consistent. One man I will tell you, and that's why I'm telling you that I like him, because he's consistent. You already know where he's going, and he will tell you today, he will speak the same thing tomorrow. But one thing right now, I want him to have a clear mindset on is one. You see, arbitrarily deprivation of life and, other kind of unlawful, politically motivated killing to a certain people shouldn't be something you will regard and you say, hey, new sheriff has arrived, new sheriff in town. You don't say that of you, please.
No, I think he can speak for himself.
Let me clear myself. Let me clear myself on that. Let me clear myself on that. Now, when the IG make that comment, don't just listen to the comment. Put a lot of things into consideration. Where was this comment made? How was it received by the people that were there? Those things are very important. Person come your house threaten your children. You see, give them beer drink, give them transport, make they go house. And you can't expect make community they shout. Now when they complain, those we give our mandate to speak for are entertaining these people. That's why they have the God to keep doing and undoing.
But
so we should focus our attention on the real
but the
problem
question
here.
is, do those people still have the mandate? Because of course, if we look at the relationship between somebody like Hope Uzodinma and the Imolites, then you will question if he has their mandate, especially how they are weighing against him so heavily.
The last
But
time
I see,
checked,
yeah.
Okay.
we are all applauding them
me,
for coming together 3 days ago. So yes, they still have our mandate.
Obvio, let me come back. I could also give a little bit an answer to your argument. Listen, we are all privileged. Those of us that are outside Nigeria. If you are on ground with the Fulani Nepostic government that is in power, look, your mouth is sealed. Are you getting what I'm saying? We are privileged. We can say our mind. We are able to observe all the all the decadence in our country. We express it freely.
I've never been scared to say my mind in this country. I'm more free to say my mind in Nigeria than here. So maybe we are living in
you're lying.
Hold on a bit.
You are lying in you. That's a lie. That's a lie. Don't
Do you
tell
know
me
how
that.
many times they blocked me on Facebook?
No, don't say that. Don't tell me
Do
that.
you know how many times I've been blocked?
No, you don't.
Go
Even if your father is related to Buhari.
Hold on, Ovie. Let's CN land so I can shuffle. Yeah, go on, CN.
Yeah. Even if you are somehow related to Buhari, you cannot say that. You don't have that mind.
Even Aisha, they have shut her up now. They have shut her up now, Aisha.
Yeah. So, my brother, let's be very, very realistic. The good news, again, I want to tell you, based on the order by that IGBO, I see him as a non-entity, and I know why he has the guts, and I knew where that thing was coming from, because they have the gun, and he thinks it's still the same time when people do not have gun. You can't talk to indigenous people right now with that same language. The thing is that let them bring it on. Good news.
CN, yes. What scares me, CN? They had a security meeting a couple of days ago to discuss the situation in the southeast, and the people at that security was Mongono, the National Security Advisor, Al-Khali, the new Inspector General of Police, Oshibajo was there to serve the tea, and of course Malam Buhari. So they are discussing the security.
Was there, to be fair. The Vice President was there.
Yeah, I did say that. It was there to serve the tea, So they were discussing the security situation in the southeast, and there was no known voice from the southeast to chime in as to what the local situation is. So people from Borno or wherever it is that they're from are discussing how to secure Umahia with no Umahia person at that meeting. So what do you think? Well, how does that play out? What rationale underpins that?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. You see, those people that this mandate we are giving to the police are not the real police, Nigerian police. These are terrorists. These are Susuk, people who they have paid to go and die, but kill before you die. You don't give a normal police officer, even if our country doesn't know anything about human rights, and you give them such an order, it cannot hold. These are terrorists they gave uniform to. Believe me, let's believe this. Let's be reasonable.
Reformed Boko Harams in Ebonyi State in uniform.
These are not normal people. They gave that order to. They just assure them. Do they know anything about human rights? No. These are people you can tell.
Do they even know about human left? Is the question. Never mind.
Of course. You can't
we joke, but it's frightening.
Person. You guys are hungry at the wrong people. Now, now our brother hosts them. Why are you not hungry with your people that host them and challenge them? Why did they allow that?
But you keep saying these things. There's a security situation in. Hold on, Ovie. There's a security situation in the southeast, and the facilities to tackle that is vested within the security apparatus of the country. So who else with the Southeast people invite to come and?
So how you not want to get this succession then?
No, what do you expect the Southeast governors to do? To concede a free for all for the agitators? Answer that. No. Don't give example. Answer that question. What do you expect the Southeast governors to do? Is it to concede a free for all to the agitators, or what exactly? If they don't call in the police, then what do you expect them to do?
Let me respond. Let me answer that question by using the opportunity to respond to those that say, "Oh, you the American, I make you they talk like this." Those government officials are not saying anything because their kids are here, and you guys are not saying that. If those say, Bonny State governor children, they street they work out like every other Nigerian, we leave up entertain that comment. But most importantly, we be angry for visitors who come our house, come brag. But people we entertain them, we leave them, make them display apart. This is a game against us. I'm so angry, but no, we do not with our oppressors, but the
what should we do? Give us advice.
What should we do?
No, Ovie doesn't have any answer.
Give us advice.
Ovie, hold on. No, hold on. Let CN finish, and so I can swap him for Mike, because Mike might well have some of the answers that we're after. So CN, just round off, and then if with your permission, I'll swap you for Mike, because he has answers.
All right. Okay, one man. Ovio, one thing you should know, let me reiterate again. These people that you think we sometimes call here elites, our governors or others that may have, been into a position to speak on our behalf. The reason why, again, they cannot say what we expect them to do is because they have all been compromised. Once you open up your mouth, they invite you into Abuja and open up your book. What do? As you are stepping out from Abuja, you seal your mouth. They do it
and even CN, by the way, setting aside and accept that they are all already compromised, but you have to understand that these are the chief citizens of their individual states within a country that is called Nigeria, which they have sworn to uphold. So they will be going against their constitutional oath if they were to take a position, and the person that has come closest to actually taking a position on this matter is Akere Dolo of Ondo State. But asking that question because I want to bring in Mike.
Out of respect, if you send your kids, to go for a business conversation on your behalf, and you find out that he lost that negotiation based on the fact that he collected bribe from the other side, are you going to be hungry with your son or with the person that offered the bribe? Because that's where we are right now. We are blaming the Fulani for taking advantage of our elite every day. Instead of blaming the coconut people or whatever that we send them, hold them responsible, do whatever we need to do to them, put the pressure on them and see if the Fulani will not mellow down. It's because they can undo and undo, because we are not even doing anything aside the fact that they are acting on based on the constitution. They react differently. We are insulting the people who are bringing the game to us.
You are entirely missing the point, of course.
I am not missing the point.
No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. What do you think the potency of a governor is within the Nigerian states? What is the potency? How potent do you think a governor is?
As far as the Nigerian constitution is concerned, they are our representative. Before you go there and speak for yourself, they will ask you to go contact your first contact, which is your governor. So whether it's functioning or it's not functioning, it is our problem to him or he or she responsible.
All right. Let me swap CN round for Mike, because I think Mike has some of the answers. CN, I'll bring you back, but I think Mike has some of the answers too. Mike, what are you making of what Ovie is saying, and this development that we're hearing is allegedly, by the way, because of course we've not yet heard it directly from him, but a lot of newspapers are reporting that the Inspector General of Police is asking the police to disregard human rights and use Igbo people as target practice. Mike, good to see you.
I don't believe that, man. I don't believe that's what Inspector General said. I think some people are putting fake news out there. There's no way the Inspector General will say to go there and kill Igbos. It does not make sense now. First of all, that's against the law to even talk like that.
Okay,
what he might have said is,
sorry, I'll post the link in the comment section just so people can go read it. Yeah, carry on.
I think he might have said go there and kill IPOB.
No, not of course. Yeah, that's what he said. IPOB, the agitators, he said to exterminate the agitators.
The agitators, exactly. So the agitators is different from Igbos. You understand? See, you have to see. We have to understand one thing. There's a bunch of agitation, and one thing always annoys me when people always compare IPOB agitation with agitation. Those are two different agitations. There are many agitations going on in Nigeria. There is IPOB, there is Odudua, there is Niger Delta, there is Boko Haram, there is bandits. The only two agitation that's legit and it makes sense is the Odudua and the ones the Niger Delta people are doing, because those are right. They're agitating for their self-interest.
So what about the IPOB? Are they just rebel rousers? And what are you?
The IPOB, the Boko Haram, the X-Men, they're all terrorists. You understand? They are not fighting for anything that has to do with self-determination. They are all terrorists.
Right. What do you think IPOB is fighting for, Mike?
They are fighting for Niger Delta people's Hoy. That's terrorism. That's not self. That doesn't belong to you. You're gonna be fighting for somebody else's Hoy. You understand? That's terrorism. You know.
Yeah, I'm here.
Even some of these guys coming on this show to, they use propaganda and everything. And the other night,
I want to say something.
When Salman and this.
Okay. So sorry, because now you've dropped a bombshell. Evolution. I'm assuming you are a southeastern voice, and this oil grab is Mike's assessment, which is I didn't even have that thought. But what do you say?
Well, first of all, before I say what I have to say, I want to make a point. We can all disagree. I can have a different opinion from the next person. That does not mean that that person's opinion is less important or that person does not know what he or she is talking about. It is okay. Now, Mike, I tend to agree with some of the things that you say on the platform. However, on this issue, I think you're modeling things up.
Actually, sorry, before you go on, because it's such a big thing that he said, Mike, back those words up that you just said. Back it up.
What do you mean back it up?
When you are saying that the only real agitations is by the Oduduans and the Ijaw people, that they are the ones really seeking genuine self-actualization, and that the Boko Harams and the IPOB are just terrorists, using your words, after or the Boko Haram after land grab, and you said the IPOB movement is really essentially about the Niger Delta oil. So what are you predicating that upon?
Okay, when you ask Boko Haram,
how did you arrive?
Boko Haram, okay, when you ask Boko Haram, what is the agitation about? Boko Haram will tell you they want everyone to be Muslim. If you are not a Muslim, you must die. Everyone. They're not saying, if you are saying your tribe has to be Muslim, you are fighting for your tribe to become Muslim, well, we can say, okay, hey, let's sit down and give you your tribe, your Islamic state within your tribe, right? That will be legitimate. But Boko Haram is killing everybody. They want the whole Nigeria to be Muslim. That's not legitimate. That's terrorism. Now, IPOB, they ask them, what do you want? They want Nigeria Delta oil. That's it. They make it clear. They want the oil in Nigeria Delta. That doesn't belong to you. And you're terrorizing everybody.
Have they said that?
Don't they say they want? What are they calling IPOB? What are they calling territory? They want all that territory, south, all the tribe that has oil, all that area that has oil that does not belong to Igbos. You understand? That's not self-agitation. That's terrorism.
No, Mike, it is not true. Hold on. The IPOB are fighting for Biafra as they fought for it in 1967. It is the same area that they are fighting for. But the difference now is that in the first civil war, the people of the Niger Delta, the people of the South, were part of the movement freely on their own.
Let me correct you
Right
now. Let me correct you. Let me correct you real fast.
Hold on.
No, before you correct him, let me just add this, because this is an ongoing conversation, evolution. If you have been following the channel, I'm sure you know. This is because what Mike said now, although I'm sure he probably he is here to back himself up, but I suspect he's just trying to be controversial. But really, what people are saying, just to avoid this sort of statements that we're hearing from Mike and indeed a lot of other people on this channel, the IPOB movement should then seek to rebrand and just define itself by its actual ethnicity, which is really an Igbo agitation. So Igbo nationhood is probably what you should pursue.
Allow me land. Like I was saying, you are essentially correct. But in 67, in the first civil war, those areas were willing part of the movement. They were willing part of the war. But right now, the feelings any rational person is getting, and in my own opinion, the reality is that they want to form their own nation if Nigeria is no longer going to function, which is what any rational person will do. Why will you add the Southeast if you can exist and sell your oil on your own? The smaller, the better. So yeah, I agree. Right now, they are not part of the movement, but that does not mean that IPOB is going after their oil. IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu, they are yet to understand the reality on ground that the Niger Delta are not with them. They are fighting based on the initial Biafra land, the eastern region. Remember then, it was essentially eastern region. That is what they are fighting for, thinking that those guys are there. But you can't say that they are not genuinely fighting for the betterment of the Southeast. They are. But do I support the way they are going about it? No. Do I think they will succeed the way they are going about it? No. The same way Sunday Igboho is not going to
okay.
Hold on. Let me land, please. Let me land. The same way Sunday Igboho is not going to succeed on his own. You have to build alliances. If we want to break up the country successfully, we must build alliances. But beyond all that, I have always represented a rearranged Nigeria. We are not viable as independent entities. But together in a restructured Nigeria, we have higher chances of succeeding, of making our lives better, which is ultimately the aim of all the agitations,
evolution. Just for the benefit of clarity, I'm suggesting that we, especially the participant regulars on this platform, should now completely discontinue that narrative of Biafra, and then we just call it Igbo Nation from here on in, because that is really what it is. So we withdraw that term Biafra from the lexicon and replace it with.
The difficulty in doing that is that even in the Niger Delta, they have Igbo indigents. And those Igbo indigents are actually part of Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB. So it's not as if that those areas don't have Igbos. They actually do. Places like Ndoni is in Rivers. The first civilian governor in 1999, Peter Odele, is from Ndoni. He's an Igbo man. And that's his local government and his area. they are actually part of Nnamdi Kanu's movement. I actually think that
are you saying
about,
essentially a redrawing of the map to bring those people back home and let the Niger Deltans have their own determination?
No. The point is that when states was balkanized into different sub a lot of, you will come in a state, you will have a family. It's essentially the same family, but one part of the family will be living in A, the other will be in B. But essentially, it is still, when you're talking of the indigenous people of a particular area, they can actually identify their tribe for you. And I'm saying that in the Niger Delta, even in the South, that they have significant numbers of people that identify as Igbos. Asaba in Delta State is the same thing.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying, evolution, is that should the map be redrawn to take those people back into the Igbo enclave, and the Niger Deltans have their own nation. But let Mike come in because hold on, let Mike come in because Mike had the floor.
Okay.
Mike, you were about to come in.
Mike has Igbo and Kanu tendencies. That's why he's speaking like that.
This is it. Mike is a rebel, isn't he? He just likes to wind people up. Mike,
he has caused trouble around away. Where is that basket mouth? Come here.
Mike.
So please allow me to land now.
Okay, let evolution land, and then who you help?
Yeah. So essentially, I don't think we will gain anything or achieve anything by labeling someone what the person has not said he or she should be known as. For now, they call themselves IPOP. They are fighting for Biafra. We can engage them based on what we hear them say. If we ever get to that we will break up, I am so sure that we will now decide then, these people, do you want to be part of Biafra, or do you want to be part of Niger Delta country? They would now select. It will be their decision at that point. So for now, I think.
So sorry, at which point? At which point?
If the agitation gets to the level that we now sit down on a table and decide to divide Nigeria into different entities, at that point, the different sub-nationalities will actually now sit down and negotiate. And if that happens, I see the southern part of Nigeria coming together as one. Because
I don't see that, but let's hear from who you help. It looks as though Bia has sent her village people after Mike, but we still have
who you I need to answer Mike.
No, have you not sent your village people after him that is just disappeared?
Okay.
Who you help?
Let's take it this way. First of all, Adam, evolution actually made a lot of good points, but I always say this. In 67, the Bende, which attributed today to Delta and the Edo, they were not subjected to go with the Biafra, because the Bende actually was part of Gowon entity who advised Gowon after Gowon came back from Ghana with Ojukwu. They told Gowon, you have the reason why the war, the reason why Biafra, the civil war take place. They would have settled everything in Ghana when they came back, but the advice that they gave Gowon after he came back, that you have give too much to the Eastern people, that you have give too much to them, so this is not good for you. That's where Ojukwu decided, like, okay, we are going to work.
Okay, we're deviating too much because
yeah, let me come in.
Let me just say, Omar, can you hear me now?
Yes,
let me come to the Niger Delta.
Let me tell you the
Let who you help. Hold on, Mike. Let who you help. Let who you help finish.
Just like Starman, bring your proof. Don't come here and talk rubbish. Bring your proofs.
Exactly, same standards.
People's Act of 1967 was a terrorist act. Was the act of terrorism.
You are a terrorist yourself by the way you behave.
Okay, Mike, calm down, please. Mike, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Let's just hear who you help, so because I want to shuffle who you help for somebody that's been waiting a long time. So who you help? Yeah, go on.
The point is this: the Niger Delta, like Evolution said, he's right. In the beginning, actually, if they would have got the independent in 67, the Niger Delta today will be in the eastern part of Nigeria. Just like when you go to Cotonou now, Benin Republic, you saw people speaking Yoruba, and all their behavior, everything they do is Yoruba. So, and when they divide Nigeria, so those people went like Ajase went with them to the what is it called, to the Cotonou. So now the Niger Delta agitation is more or less like, if we go to the east, if we go with this the southeast, we are going to be suffering the same thing what the northerners are making us to suffer now, because everybody is thinking about the oil of the Niger Delta, and everybody is selfish. Let's be honest, like what Evolution said. So now, what can happen in Niger?
Sorry, are you speaking along the same lines as Mike, that the Niger Delta oil is part of is a factor, if not the overriding factor in the Biafra narrative? Is that oil a consideration for why they're so fervent that they are taking the Niger Deltans with them?
You know, one man, let me even make it clear today. I don't think people understand where I'm coming from a lot. Ovie, you are from Edo State, huh? Ovie, are you from Edo State?
Ovie, unmute yourself.
We all know it's from Edo State now.
Are you from Edo State?
From Edo State. Edo State.
Okay,
right.
good. Okay, I will say this now. I'm actually from Ondo State, and I actually my other part of my family, the other side of my family, are from Delta State.
Ondo is part of Edo.
Yes. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. That's your business. I'm not here to drag a land with anybody.
Everybody is claiming everybody.
Everybody is claiming everybody.
You are claiming the Yorubas.
No, one man.
Everybody wants to be terrorists like
confusion here. Igbos are not claiming the Delta. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
During the Biafran war, whatever happened. Now, IPOP means indigenous people of Biafra. And when the time comes,
there's no such thing as indigenous people of Biafra, man. Come on.
You don't even know where you belong, Mike.
I will come to you in a moment.
You don't know who you are. You're confused.
Can you allow me to finish? Can I finish?
Let who you help finish so I can shuffle, and then I'll come to Mike, because there's been allegations leveled against you severally. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Mike.
No, 1 minute, one man. Just like you normally ask Starman to bring his proofs.
I'm going there with him. I'm going there with him.
The guy is just so confused.
Yeah,
I don't know if he takes drugs. I think he takes drugs.
Okay, let's put it this way now. The point is this: is that everybody have a selfish interest. If we will divide Nigeria today, Niger Delta will go to the east, including Edo State, except the Edo people decided, like, okay, we will come with the southwest. So that's one point. But my point is this: I think everybody started to label people terrorists and all these things. This I don't think these are relevant to us here in the platform, and we should not be joking about these things when we are talking. We should make a serious communication system, not like we just came here with something that is not right. How can you say IPOP is a terrorist organization?
That's a serious word.
No, I'm going to put him on the spot for that. But I'm thanking you help.
Because you don't know who is listening to this platform.
Hold on, Ovie. Who you help? Before you leave, let me know. I'm going to shuffle you, but I'll still bring you back just to bring Ego in. But to put Baba Akure, I'm going to bring you on later as well, because I want an update on the Oduduwa narrative, if you have any. So, Mike, So over the course of your interactions with these sessions, a lot of people have leveled the allegation of being anti-Igbo against you. And sorry, hold on, Mike, so you can hear and address. So over the course of your interactions with this platform, a lot of people have leveled allegations of being anti-Igbo against you. And some of the tonality of your comment, it lent itself to that allegation. And now you have come in to describe the IPOB movement as nothing more than an oil grab. And now in your last comment, you described Ojukwu as a terrorist. So you're on the spot, so you either apologize to the Igbos or back up your comment. Mike.
Mike is an Igbo man.
First of all, I'm anti-terrorism. That's what I am. You understand? Now, if you go look at the definition of terrorism, you see that everything I'm saying is actually valid, you know. The same way, it's like somebody telling me that because I call Boko Haram terrorism, I'm anti-North or anti-Kanuri, something like that, anti-wherever Abubakar Shekau come from. The guy Abubakar Shekau is a Kanuri man, you understand? The guy that had Boko Haram. It's like if I say the guy and his Boko Haram group are terrorists, doesn't mean I'm anti-Kanuri, you understand? If you look at the definition of terrorism, you know that IGBO is a terrorist organization.
And Ojukwu as well. You said Ojukwu as well.
And Ojukwu, yes. Ojukwu it's similar.
You know that Ojukwu is a Nigerian hero, especially within the eastern quarters, is idolized by a lot of people and seen as a hero in that section. See, so those are heavy words. Heavy words.
There are several things in Nigeria. Then we don't have education system that educate us about anything. So people take advantage of that. So what they do is they use propaganda to brainwash people. You understand? So a lot of people in our area, Ojukwu find a way to brainwash them. You understand? Now, how is Ojukwu a terrorist? First of all, Ojukwu went to send his boys to invade other people's territory. Even Yoruba land invaded Ondo, and they went to Akure and they massacre women, children, and men. That was an act of terrorism right there. You understand? That's the act of terrorism. They went to Edo, they went to Auchi, they massacre people. You understand? That's the act of terrorism. Ojukwu, Ojukwu's Biafra was the act of terrorism. If you look at the definition, it's not different from
Please give us the date of the massacre.
You never heard of Ore massacre?
Give us the dates.
We're going to look it up. I'm not here to educate you. You're going to look it up. You're going to look at how
he doesn't even know what he's talking about. This man, when he came on this platform, he was saying he's Benin. Now he's Yoruba. He's from Orisha. He's from Orisha. See, and when you eventually showed your face,
I think you're an iPod member, so that's what you guys talk. Propaganda.
I'm an Igbo man. I'm a proud Igbo man. Yes, wait. When you showed yourself on the camera, and you were talking, when you were talking, you are not even a Nigerian, the way I see you, because when you were on the camera, you show your face. As soon as you start talking, you put your face down.
Pin him down. So pin him down now. So he's trying to back up his words. And if you find any,
these people lie.
We need a link.
See,
one man.
That's the same way.
That man to produce a link. We want him to produce a link as well. He needs to show us, strategic evidence for calling the whole of indigenous people of Biafra. Biafrans are the Igbo. It's not just IPOP. You don't have to subscribe to be an IPOP. Anyone in that territory of Igbo land.
Why would you come up with a term? Indigenous people of Biafra.
For your information, there is oil. Not only in the Niger Delta. So we are not after your oil. Not only in their side.
Indigenous people of Biafra.
There is oil in Igbo land. There is oil in Igbo land.
So just follow my direction. Don't let me mute you. Hold on, Bia and Mike.
Please,
Mike,
one man. It's wrong.
Just bear with me.
Don't let people come here and say things that are not true, because it devalues your platform. It does.
No, but I am trying to pin him down now. Do you want me to remove him completely? Is that what you would like, or do you want us to interrogate him to the point that he either backs it up or he apologizes publicly?
Please do. We want a link and a proof, not just what he says. Please.
So we have him on the spot now. But before you come in, Mike, I am going to bring Maurice in. But before I bring Maurice in, I'm going to tell Maurice to be mindful of language, because every time that he has been here, we have had concerns about language. So
he's not going to be able to help that one.
No, be mindful of language, Maurice, because of course you know language. So with your permission, Evolution, I'll swap you round for Maurice, but Maurice,
He
as
will
I
come in
said,
and start calling me a son of a thousand father and all kind of stuff like that.
in
That's what
fact,
you do.
that's one of the things that I'm referencing
No, Mike
because
is
I
He
already
won't come here to make any
intimidated.
uh-huh.
He's
logical.
already
He won't come here to
intimidated
present
by
any
the
logical
guy's
argument. He
wisdom.
just come here and start insulting. That's what
Mike,
he's coming
what
to
are
do.
you
Okay.
afraid of?
Just
It's
like
not insult.
Biao here.
No,
Just come
I'm
here
not
and start
afraid.
insult.
Please,
And
What
The
are
same
you
way,
afraid
the
of?
same way
hold on.
Nnamdi Kanu.
What are you afraid of?
I am trusting. I
Why
am
are you guys
trusting.
so scared of me?
please.
Why?
What are
I
you
am
scared of? Where is
trusting.
your wisdom?
Why
I
are
am
you guys so
trusting.
scared of me?
Oh, no,
Who's scared
because
of
of
you?
your
They
abusive
won't have got
language.
you on. They were
Nobody's
scared of
scared
you
of
now.
you. It's just your abusive
Is that
language, you
the
know.
okay? The son of 1,000 fathers. Is that the one he's complaining? I
No,
don't
no,
understand.
no, hold on.
Please.
Hold on. When you first came in here, Maurice, your first thing was to agitate with tribal chanting, and then the next time you came, you called Mike son of 1,000 fathers because he doesn't agree with your politics. And then the third time you came, you called me a wanker, and then the fourth time you came, you called me a wanker. So this is the sort of language that you use when people don't agree with you.
That's
And
terrorist
ordinarily,
language.
yes, and ordinarily I should not let you on, but I'm one for free speech, but I'm not one for abusive language. So I am bringing you in because you are in this space, but please be mindful of language. We even have a lady present, so if you don't respect us, at least respect her. So Mike, you are on the spot with this position you have regarding the politics of the Nigerian space, to make that audacious comment that a revered Igbo man like Ojukwu is a terrorist, and the banner under which the Igbos converge, IPOB, you described it as a terrorist organization. So heavy words, and they're asking you, including myself, asking you to back it up. So back it up or apologize to the Igbos especially. Mike.
If you go and look at the definition of terrorism, every act that Ojukwu carried and every act that Kanu, these IPOB people are carrying is act of terrorism. When you carry an act of force, when you're forcing act of force of harm against other group of people, that's terrorism. You're terrorizing them. You understand? You are trying to use force to take other people's territory. You invade other people's territory and kill the people. That's terrorism. You understand? That's what Ojukwu did. That's what Kanu is agitating for right now. He said he wants other people's territory by force, and he's going to turn like the whole place into Somalia by force if he doesn't get
When
it.
did he say he was going to turn it to Somalia?
So you haven't heard that one before? Where have you been?
He did not say he's going to turn it into Somalia.
He didn't say we turn everywhere to Somalia.
No, he didn't say that. The way you understand things, your understanding is.
Oh, actually, say we turn it worse than Somalia. Actually, sorry, excuse my word.
Ovie, what did he say? You are neutral in this.
That is like a chorus to him that we turn the zoo will be worse than the Somalia. So
okay,
that one in chorus. You'll be saying it's not a new thing for him.
That's terrorism.
You see, Mike, did you see? Listen to Ovie, learn from Ovie.
Okay. So
no, he said it's going to be worse.
Okay, Mike,
what could be worse than that anyway?
Mike, let me ask you this. What distinction are you making between the agitation for Oduduwa actualization and the agitation for Biafra actualization, or even let's narrow it down, for the agitation for Igbo nationhood and the agitation for Yoruba nationhood? So why are you calling one a genuine agitation because you come from there, and you are calling the other one a terrorist organization because you don't come from there? Because that is what it's sounding like.
Okay, the distinction is this: those agitating for the Oduduwa Republic, they're not telling other people in their own territory. They're not telling people in Midwest or people in the East or people in the North that they are coming to turn their place to Somalia because they want something for themselves. And they're not telling somebody else that we want your land. If you don't give us, we'll come there to kill you. You understand? All we want is our own space and free us. That's far from a definition of there's nothing terrorism in that. You understand?
But what about the language?
That's called self-agitation. That's the difference.
Hold on, Mike, because what about the language that Sunday Igboho is using? Because the language that Sunday Igboho is using,
for example,
is not too far. Well, he's saying that
he threaten anybody.
No, he is.
Who?
He's saying that he will take to arms. In fact, he's even trying to form an alliance with this IPOB movement that you so disparage.
Well, if he decide to form alliance with terrorist
That's political
organization,
alliance.
then if he does it, if he says he's gonna do it and he's carrying a threat to join a terrorist organization, until he does it, then the day he would join IPOB, then I will regard him as a terrorist as well. You understand?
Okay, and that outrageous comments that you made about Ojukwu, explain that, and then I'll have Maurice counter you to see if he's satisfied with your narrative or not.
Ojukwu sent his boys to Ore to massacre people, to other people's territory, to kill people. That's act of terrorism. And the Nigerian state had to fight back, and everybody had to fight for their self-defense. You understand? That's what the whole Biafra was all about. And this guy was using 10-year-old little children to fight war. That's a crime. That's a crime. That's a war crime. You understand? And this guy was hiding in a bunker while everybody else was dying, him and his family. And then and lying to people on the radio that they are fighting for their self-survival, that people are coming to wipe them out. Lying on the radio Biafra.
What do you call
the same radio Biafra and Nnamdi Kanu is using today to lie to all of them. They are coming to kill all of us. So Fulani is coming to. That's what Ojukwu was telling them during the war in his bunker, in a safe place, that the Fulanis are coming to kill all the Igbos. So he's forcing everybody to come out with stick, to be facing guns with stick. You understand? Well, 2 million of them died. And then when the violence got close to him, this guy jumped on a cargo plane with a Mercedes-Benz with all the money looted from the treasury in when he invaded.
What are you? Where is your proof? As Abia has been saying, where is your proof of all of these things that you're saying?
So he didn't know Ojukwu loaded the plane with he put a Mercedes-Benz on the plane. And
but I know that Yame did, but that is news to me.
So he didn't know Ojukwu put Mercedes-Benz on his cargo plane when he was leaving. One man, I thought you know stuff. I don't even know.
Okay, let me look that up.
You need to ask Mike to provide the evidence.
When Ojukwu invaded,
you need to ask him for an evidence because Mike has said that he would behead people.
When Ojukwu invaded Ondo, when he invaded Delta,
platform. Mike has come here to say he will behead Igbos.
All right.
Okay, so IPOB, he will behead.
I'm just going to.
I didn't say he will behead Igbos, so don't put what in my mouth. Don't start lying now. See, that's one of the things you guys do. You lie too much.
You said so. Who's lying? Do you think I'm lying?
I want this conversation to take place so we can clear this space up, especially with Mike. People feeling that is of a certain mindset.
I'm sorry, one man. I am really sorry. Have you ever had Mike say he's going to behead starting people here in your platform? Yes or no? Did they mean?
I don't recall, but I don't recall is what but I can't put it past. Well, I hope I can.
I think you are related to Nnamdi Kanu.
And that was the day me and him had whatever.
Mike, did you say that? Did you say that?
Why would I say I would behead an ethnic group? Why would I say something like that?
I'm going to find that video and I'll play.
It doesn't really matter. Bia, if he's saying he did not say it, then he either misspoke or is withdrawing it now.
I know what I said. I know what I said.
He did.
Let me tell you what I said.
Let me tell you what I said.
Let me tell you what I said. Exactly what I said. That day, you said the Lagos State Commissioner of Police said IPOB was coming to Lagos. Let me tell you what I said now. That they were coming to Lagos to bomb Lagos and kill people. I'm from Lagos. They are coming to Yoruba land to bomb people, to carry an act of terrorism. And I said that most likely the IG is lying, that maybe they're trying to create divide and conquer. And then I said on the other hand, IPOB are known to carry out stupid decisions like that. And I said, if they come to my land, I'm talking about IPOB, not Igbos, so the terrorist group. If they come to my land to carry out, this is what I said. I said, if they come to my land to come and kill my people, because my family live there, it's like you're coming to kill my children, I will behead you. That's what I said. I said,
okay, so you did
that's not saying Igbos.
Okay, so
that's not Igbos. I'm saying any terrorist group, whether it's Fulani, whether even the Yoruba man I want to come and kill my family.
IPOB stands.
Okay, so
IPOB is not Igbos. IPOB is a terrorist organization.
Hold on. I've muted you, Mike, a bit. So I have to caution you on that language, as I cautioned Maurice on language. That is not the language of discussion here, because of course you've seen a lot of people like Ovie, people like No, hold on. That is not just the sort of language that we can be elegant with. We are all educated people. We are all well spoken. and we don't have to resort to that sort of language to have expression. So that's a strike on you.
One man, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Go on.
If somebody tell you that a man is coming to your house,
no.
Wait now. Let's wait. If somebody says somebody is coming to your house,
the answer is no.
To kill your wife and your children,
language, and that's not really
you're
the
gonna
language
sit
that
and
we
say,
want.
"Oh yeah, you're welcome. Hey, I love it. Yeah, let's receive.
No.
I'm educated.
But
somebody's coming to kill your family. You're not gonna say you have to defend your family now. You say exactly what you would do. If somebody is coming to kill your family, you have to defend your family and prepare. If you have a gun, pull out your gun. If you have machete, pull out your machete. If IPOB is coming to Yoruba land to kill Yoruba people, I have a right to defend my people. So what is wrong with my statement?
Okay, Mike. Let me put you this question before I go to Maurice. Do you think it should be? Do you think it should be a free for all? The sort of language that people use on these sort of platforms, that anybody can just speak anyhow. Do you think that, just yes or no without qualifying it? Mike?
Say it again.
I said, do you think it should be a free-for-all, the sort of language that people use on platforms like this? So I'm asking you yes or no without you qualifying it.
It shouldn't be a free-for-all, but there are certain languages
so
that are legitimate.
If it should not be a free-for-all, then that sort of language is not acceptable. So
to say you defend your family is not a bad language.
No, saying you defend your family is one thing, but saying
so
what
when Ojukwu came to kill people in Ore, if somebody from Ore back then would have defended themselves, they were wrong.
Anyway, I'm against that, so I'm just saying that for the benefit of clarity, and that was what I said to Maurice as well. So Maurice, now you've heard what Mike has listed as his reasoning for his position. So how do you counter that? He's describing the IPOB movement as no more than an intent towards that oil field that is the wealth of Nigeria, and is now, for reasons that he is adducing, also describing Ojukwu as a terrorist. So those are his reasons. What do you say to that, Maurice?
Good morning from here.
Good morning.
First of all, sometimes people use words without actually knowing the meaning of it. For instance, I'll start with the terrorist part, okay? I'm in a very good mood tonight, so
No. Your mood is immaterial, though. No. Hold on. Let's just knock this on the head right now. You don't run things here. Your mood is immaterial. I'm asking you to act with caution as an adult and moderate your language. So whether you're in a good mood or not is immaterial.
That's why I'm saying I'm in a good mood, and someone like Mike will not.
Even if you're in a bad mood, you still caution yourself.
As long as everything is done, as long as number one, when I'm trying to explain something, nobody interrupts me. Please, I'm appealing. So let me get my point across before interjection or interruption. That is number one. Number two, a terrorist simply means it's a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of, for instance, political aims. Okay? Now, I don't know where that and secondly, IPOB means indigenous people of Biafra, and that means everyone that is Biafra is IPOB. So, and then the IPOB, the organization, but when you say in IPOB, you mean the whole Biafra, indigenous people of Biafra. That's what it means, IPOB. Now, he turned around to say IPOB is a terrorist group. So tell me where Kano, the leader of the IPOB group, been intimidating civilians, or where he's been busy pursuing his own political gains. The only thing the gentleman said is, we don't have a stake in the country. Since we don't have a stake in the country, we contribute a lot here, and still we are treated as second-class citizens. Then it's better we go our separate ways. And I would like to take and wish that the Igbos, the indigenous Igbos in other areas of the former Biafra map, when the Biafra map of 1967 to 1970, can go, come on board. So I can't help the way some people feel about the Igbos, or feel about, they use IPOP to cover up. That's a general hatred for Igbos. Now, I can't
Why do you
help.
say that? No, why do you say that?
Yeah, someone like Mike, and not only Mike, and the way you also present your biased way of presenting your program when it comes to Igbos.
Hold on. Because Mike is on the spot. You are on the spot too.
I'm not on the spot.
No, you are on the spot.
Why
because
am I
you make a lot of you make a lot of controversial statements on this platform.
This is your biased way of judgment. That's why I said, if you're not being biased.
Do you think people are allowed? Do you think non-Igbos are allowed to run commentaries on Igbo politics and Igbo
100%.
situation?
You can criticize. Okay. You can criticize and disagree, but do not talk down on someone or talk about someone disdainfully. These are two different things.
What way are the Igbos being talked down on? Because there's always a strong Igbo representation on. If you look at your screen now, there are 3 Igbo people.
Yeah.
So in what way are they being talked down?
That has not. Okay, now.
Anyway, just go to Mike's
you asked me a question. Now I'm going to get. You cannot be a prosecutor and the judge at the same time. You ask me a question, then I'm going to give you an answer. Now you said there are 3 Igbos on the panel. Tell me one Igbo here on the panel that will talk down on the other races, even if it's disdainfully. Especially you have a habit of doing that, and we know that's the bone of contention between me and you. Because
you know, the last time you came, I saw your antics in the comment section, all the things you were saying. But what you don't know is that a lot of your comments is held back because it's so offensive. Even YouTube, they make it offensive and they say, do I want this shown or not? So all the comments you were making in the comment section, nobody saw it apart from myself. So this is what you do, but really just to address.
I did it, and I do it proudly.
Yes. But nobody saw it. Is what I'm saying to you. But you are an example of my love for free speech because of the way you conduct yourself. I'm not sure what other platform would allow you.
There's a difference between free speech and hatred. These are two different things. You have right
to the facts without going down that road.
I'm stating the facts. Yeah. One thing we don't know each other. We just met over the night like this, and then we'll discuss on your panel. I'm very straightforward person. I wear my heart on my sleeves. You can see what I'm feeling, how I feel. So I do not. Because in Holland, that is saying in Holland, Dutch people, they say the shortest way is the direct way. So I don't know how to start cutting corners or whatever. I go straight to the point. If you do good, I say someone does good, but it's not that you cannot criticize. Mike has right to criticize, but don't lie. Don't in the way of
you cannot say it's a lie. That is the fact. That is the fact. That is
what is the fact?
Hold on.
For instance, you denied that you don't remember Mike saying he would pay Igbos. You denied it yourself. And you remember that thing caused a lot of problems. You don't remember. Suddenly you can't remember.
You are making up our
I'm
stuff
not making
now.
up. You said it now. You said
you move on the conversation.
Please let there be peace. I don't like what is happening.
This is what Maurice does. I did not deny it. I said I did not recall, and I put it to Mike, and he admitted it. And he qualified it, and I said it was unacceptable.
We are all one here, please.
Everybody heard that. Should I remove Maurice? People, Ovie, let me just take a sample first.
Give him a chance.
Should I remove him?
No, we need Maurice around. We need everybody can speak.
Should I remove Maurice?
No, don't remove Maurice, but we are one.
Ego, should
no
I
one
remove
hates
Maurice?
each other here. Sometimes
allow him to express with the spirit of one Nigeria. With the spirit of one Nigeria.
It ties us up in this atrocious
thing.
Yes,
I don't really agree. I think Maurice is not a young man. I don't think he's a small boy. And I believe he's talking to the world. He's in the world space. See, there are some characters in which we put forward. They will qualify it among our people in general. I understand one thing from the Igbos. They don't want you to say anything wrong about them. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. You have this character. Many of you. It's not fair.
They called us terrorists.
Let me come. Madam, please, I'm sorry. Just let me talk. You can oppose me when you have the time, please. It is not fair for us sometimes to be so aggressive when it comes to when they criticize us. No. The way Maurice used to talk sometimes, maturely, you know, yes, downplay some. No, it's painful. We know how it is to come in the world stage, receiving bashing. Yes, but how are you following it up? How are you addressing it in your maturity? How are you putting the? How are you presenting your words? It matters a lot. You know, these things that we judge us by. That's what I'm after. No, I'm not against Igbo man. I'm not against Yoruba man. Please, but what I'm saying is, when we are debating issues, let's not make it personal. Let's try to make the place where we look attractive for other people to come and join us, please. This is what I'm trying to, you know, advocate here.
All right,
so
thank
Maurice, you tune low a bit, you know, in terms of anger and the words he used, please.
All right, thank you, Igbo. So Maurice, the floor is yours.
Yeah, like I was saying, secondly, about the oil. I have not heard a... Hello? Can you hear me?
We cannot hear.
Yes,
we cannot hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Now.
We are with you, sir.
Okay. I've not heard. Probably he said something like that, but I've never heard Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said he's interested in the oil of Niger, South South, because if you say Niger Delta, Imo State, Anambra State are part of Niger Delta. So I will say South South now. I'll use the word South South. He never said it. The only thing I've heard him say is that if those people want to have a referendum, when we have that Biafra, if they want to have a referendum, they want to go their separate way, with all pleasure, they can go. He says that human intelligence and human capital is much bigger and much more useful than oil, because the Igbos have intelligence, business intelligence, and whatever. Human capital is much more, is greater than oil. We have oil in Imo State. We have oil in Anambra State. We have oil in Abia State. So no one is interested. So I don't know the fear of, well, it's natural for people to be defensive when you have something and they have it in a larger quantity than we have, then they will automatically think that these people maybe want to colonize us and then control our oil. Like one of our brothers here said, is it who you help, said, if we join the Biafrans, if we join the Igbos, the same thing we are suffering today in the hands of the Fulanis, we will suffer it. Now, how did it play out for them? In the first time they joined the Fulanis to attack their own, how did it play out for them? Today they have nothing. The same people that receive just 20 pounds are greater than all of them today, financially and otherwise. So I don't know. That's why I say, if you want to criticize, it's okay. You can criticize me for all you care. I don't care. But in the course of criticizing me, don't tell lies. Just to score cheap points, don't tell lies. It doesn't earn you. It doesn't earn respect. It doesn't earn you any respect. I do not respect any man who is biased or who is very quick to criticize or talk down or talk about other people disdainfully, in a disdainful manner. No, because I don't do that. I can do that, but I don't want to do that. So I do not agree to that, one man, that the Igbos want all everybody inclusive because of the oil. I do not agree. And I do also not subscribe to the thing what Mike said. He should apologize for that, calling the IPOB terrorist group, because they never for once terrorize anybody. The only thing they are doing is chasing the Fulanis away from the bushes. That is all they're doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maurice. But just to that thing that you said, I too, there's nothing on record that indicates, or there's no public pronouncement that I have heard where the IPOB movement have said that they are after the Niger Delta oil. So that is just Mike's subjective view. So we prefix whatever he says that in his opinion. So that is in your opinion.
So you haven't seen where Kanu was discussing.
One man having said that.
When Kanu was discussing how you're going to share the oil.
One man, please.
He's going to give France a little bit.
Yeah,
give
you
Italy
give France. You give our own. We have oil in Abia State.
You
we
don't
have
have,
oil in Imo
you have
State.
cheap oil. You don't have oil, man. You have penny.
We
in
have
fact,
oil.
You know what? One man, I'm going to post a link in your chat right now.
You know.
Please, can I talk, please? I'm not.
I'm going to post a link right now.
What you said is
I just posted a link. That link.
That is the conclusive end to
that
the
link
argument.
shows you the amount of oil that's in oil producing states. You see how tiny oil is in Imo and Abia. Very tiny.
But
compared to
Mike,
in fact,
you don't even have
it will show you the production of the oil.
Oil now. You don't even the Fulanese owns the Fulanese.
I want to talk more oil. I don't really understand.
There's 4 times more oil.
Fulanese have one access.
You don't have nothing, man. You guys don't have nothing. You say you contribute to Nigeria. You don't contribute anything.
The world has moved on from oil now. Come on, the world has moved on from oil. We're harnessing human intelligence.
Japan. How many oil? Japan has no oil. Japan doesn't even have a drop of oil. Japan.
Yeah, hold on, Mike, hold on. Can I ask you, Mike, to do me a favor? Can I ask you to be a bit nicer into, especially the Igbo family that we have on this platform? Because, you know, I've come to form a really, even Maurice that agitates me so much. I love hearing from him. Even Starman even you that you agitate me. So just be nicer in the way you express yourself, because you seem to be jarring people's senses maybe in the way you choose to present these things, whether they are facts to you or not. Certainly, that is your subject, because I've never heard anybody say that they're after oil in the Niger Delta. So that is just your subjective view.
One man, sorry that I'm going to say this. You know, 1 minute. Do you know, I support what Iho said, but Iho, I want to say something to you. When you are always being in the faces of tribulations, 1 minute. You know, now in the West, if you call someone a homosexual, do you know there are things that are restricted by age and race and stuff like that? Do you know what is called discrimination? That is, so that's the way it feels. You know, you see someone that is a homosexual, you're making fun of them. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it's similar in such a way. So you can, if you always put someone on the limelight every time.
So now Igbos are homosexual. That's what you're telling us.
No.
Let me explain myself. Look at what Mike said. If you look at what Mike said, as a son of the Niger Delta.
Okay, let me bring out your maybe we'll calm this place down. Sorry, go on, Igo.
If you look at what Mike said, as a child of the Niger Delta, I've not really had that from Munandi, and I don't really agree with Mike. That is why I wanted people to
I understand you, but what I'm saying is that because of the Biafra,
I'm just hearing this for today. That is why I want to hear more from him.
Because of the
Biafra
war,
what he's talking about.
Because of the Biafra war, I do think that the Nigerians or Igbos a lot of apologies, and then protect Igbos.
No, the Igbos hold apologies. Igbos
we don't.
In start apologies.
Did you know that Benue has apologized? The Middle Belt have apologized. Do you know that? Did you know that?
Let me ask Mike one brotherly question. Let me ask Mike one brotherly.
Defend his position.
Okay. So
let me ask Mike. Let me ask Mike one brotherly question, please. Mike, last time we took off on the wrong foot, okay? But let me ask you one simple question. But how about that Fulani that you fought alongside and fought against the Igbos? How are you faring now with them? Are they not the one occupying your area and taking off your land and forcing your people into refugee camps in Benin Republic? Are they not the same people that is taking control of your oil? None of you from your own people have even one cup of oil. Everything, the Fulanis took over. So how do you feel that you went and robbed a bank? After robbing a bank, and someone just made away with the whole loot? Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are
No,
you still
no.
here?
Let me answer you. First of all,
yapping your mouth about Igbos when you
the
have nothing to show for it.
two ethnic groups
I think
that
he's just
constitute the
winding us
most
up.
problem in Yoruba land are the Igbos, number one, followed by the Fulani.
Okay, good.
The most notorious
You are just
kidnapper
jealous
in
because the
Nigerian
Igbos
history, in Yoruba land history, was an Igbo man. Evans the kidnapper. So
I
before
think a woman has turned an Igbo woman
most of the
turned him
crimes
down.
committed in Yoruba land today are committed by Igbos. Now, to answer you about our mess we are in today about Fulani controlling everything. No. Let me answer his question now.
No, I cannot allow you to say that. You cannot say all the crimes in Nigeria are committed by the Igbos. So Mike, come on now.
Land.
Do you see that Mike hates the Igbos?
Well, the most notorious kidnapper in Yoruba land history was an Igbo man.
You're not making yourself.
I think an Igbo woman turned Mike down.
Evans the kidnapper.
I think an Igbo woman turned Mike down.
Who wants to date an Igbo woman?
You're so
my wife is a Brazilian.
Look at you. Who is that you? You're so ugly.
No.
You
okay.
with your
all
baguette mouth.
Okay, I think we'll leave it there because I thought we'll be able to resolve
Look
all
how
of these
big
things.
your mouth is.
Hold on. I thought we'll be able to.
You don't tell her to be nice. You always tell me to be nice. You expect me to be nice when all they do is abuse me all over there. They are chatting. Everything they come out their mouth is insult.
Mike. Just
when you read the mirror. Look at your mouth in the mirror.
How come I'm muting people and they're unmuting?
How can someone kiss that your mouth?
I thought I muted you, Bia. Oh, okay, so I thought we'll be able to settle this, and I thought, Mike, you'll be able to redeem yourself, but it looks as though it's just going further and further down that spiral, and we always end up here. So, what I would really, because let me just say this, what I was hoping as this platform was evolving is that established faces are familiar faces to people, and people want to hear from them. So, like yourself, Mike, like Bia, like Ovie, like Ayo, like Isaac, so these are established voices that have political opinions. I didn't really expect it to degenerate into like a school ground sort of, but
sorry, one man. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Let me swap it around and bring Ayo in. Maybe Ayo can settle things for us and calm things down. Ayo, with that soothing voice that you have, just knock this thing on the head once and for all. Because I want us to move beyond this after today. And I thought Mike would have made the effort to redeem himself, but he's...
you can't control anyone but yourself. So, and that's the reason I don't come every day, because I can't handle stuff like this. It doesn't make any sense. It's not even entertaining anymore. It's childish, just the back and forth, the constant... I don't know, disparaging, and I don't know, man, but it's just not. I mean, you sound like a really smart guy, one man, and it's your platform, so it's really up to you to.
Okay. What I will do is for the rest for today, I'm going to remove Bia, I'm going to remove Maurice, and I'm going to remove Mike for today, and hopefully whenever they do come on next. Sorry, I didn't mean to remove your view. And hopefully whenever they do come on next, a bit more decorum. Of course, we're discussing politics and life, and of course, emotive language, but of course, we are all adults. So for the rest of the day, these three characters, they'll excuse us. So
let them excuse us first, please.
No, I've removed them. So just for the rest of the day.
If I can just make a suggestion, I think you can give people maybe one. I mean, no one is perfect, and people, and obviously emotions are going to run high, but just give people maybe 1 or 2 chances. And when your chances are done, if you're still, inciting, I don't know. I mean, if I'm to be honest. I don't want to take sides, but Mike bothers me. I mean, he does. His language against. I don't think he's as anti-Igbo as he claims to be, or he puts out there. But
I think he's just his language is sometimes a little. I think he's prodding to be controversial and to be
right, and it's not fun.
Maybe Igbos has done something wrong to him.
It's gone too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just needs to. I mean, you guys definitely give really good back and forth, and discussions about different topics, and it makes sense. But once it starts devolving into name calling, and it's just, I mean, it gets out of control, man. I don't know.
All right. Thank you, Ayo. Baba Akure, what's the latest development? Because Ayo was saying that Professor Akintoye made an appearance on Mayegun General, but I've not caught up with that. But perhaps you, because of course you monitor that space. So what is the latest development, and when should I start making my way back to Oyuala, confident that there is no Fulani man on my land?
You know, when I told you the other time that I'm already planning my retirement, I want to say you are blaspheming that.
No, you know, your retirement is all our dreams, to go back to Akure, to go back to Oyo, to go back and, you know.
But the issue is that you don't have to wait until when you clock 60 or 70 before you start planning that. You have to start right now. Anyway.
Well, yes, my house is ready in Ibadan. It's just that I'm not ready to go and occupy it yet. It's just a thing. But really, what is there any new development? Is there anything? Because the latest we have is the hand over the Niger from Sunday Igboho. But then, of course, the voice that we really need to be hearing is the voice of Professor Akintoye, because he is the one really pointing direction for that movement. And what we really need now to see is now, we've seen all the demonstrations, we've seen that the Yoruba nation, the Yoruba people have a taste and an appetite for this. So now what then is the next step, and are those steps being taken, especially internationally? Because of course, Yoruba people are not gun-carrying sort of people. So what moves are they making, or what moves should we now be making? Because quickly and in a hurry, I want that to do a nation or Yoruba nation or whatever we call it, so that we can start going after Togo and Benin and bringing them back.
Anyway, you are very right. Anyway, based on what Professor Akintoye said today, you know, he is working with some representative at the back room. Let me just put it at back room. So those who go on goes on the street campaigning, they are doing their own on the surface. So now, based on one of the things that he mentioned today, though I didn't really watch the whole conversation because I had to go and pick up my daughter from the music class. So what happened is that
look at that, you are raising an IGBO in Canada. I hope he's still eating in you at least, or powdered yam, or is it completely chips now? You are now you have turned Westerners completely. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, my kids love African food more than all this crap, and they never been to Africa.
No, I was only joking.
They love everything. So anyway,
they love what? What is Eba? What is Eba?
That's what they call it. They call it I want Eba.
Is Eba. Eba.
Instead of
Eba. Even that I'm sure you cannot pronounce Eba anymore, but we'll put him on the spot in a minute.
They said they want Amala. So anyway, I
no, anyway, it's fair enough. Prof.
Point. So what happened is that there are some group that they believe in restructuring based on what I listened to, with what Professor Akintoye said today. There are some group that even up to last month that they still agitating for restructuring. There are some group in the United States, according to him, I think about 1,000 of them, popular and well-to-do people in the United States, and they still believe that, okay, they want to go for restructuring. But
why do you think that is? Because my thinking is that they are still after that restructuring as a narrative for a Yoruba president in 2023. But if we don't have a Yoruba 2023, do you think that would then be that just we are gone?
The issue is that nobody really care about the issue of presidency right now. Nobody really care about Nigeria. That is just a fact. So based on him, he spoke to them. According to he convinced them. At least they all agreed that, okay, well, it is very important with what he said. He also mentioned a specific point, which I think is very good. He said there is a booklet that they've already prepare, which they will be distributing according to him next month. Anything from next month that will contain, it's just like a pamphlet, like 30 pages that will show what the Oduduwa stand for. Yoruba Nation stand for. What will be the constitution and what people will be gained.
The important question, of course, of this Oduduwa narrative is its geographical space, because, of course, we can easily identify Ekiti or Oyo, etc. But then when we start to get to the borders of other nationhoods within that Nigerian space, that is when it starts to get interesting. And I'm, of course, going to Kwara State. Do we have a position on that?
As a matter of fact, there was a rally in Kwara State today. Not the whole Kwara anyway, but in Oro area, which is very close to Ekiti State. There was a mega rally there today. I watched that live. So now let me just come back to Professor Akintoye. So now the booklet is going to come out next month, which will be distributed for everybody. At least they can go through it and see, because we still need to convince people. And according to him, he did mention about issue of referendum. He said it's not Nigeria is not going to conduct the referendum.
No, they cannot. It will be.
He did mention that they've already made all their plans, but they just, because there's a step that United Nations told them to take, and that is what they are doing right now. That is why you are seeing all this all this campaign around the city, because all those videos is being presented to them as well, because they are the people that give them, okay, this is what you have to do. When you finish, this is the next step. So that is why you are seeing this constantly, based on what he said. So now, he said, okay, the United Nations is the people that will conduct the referendum. And he also said, somebody asked a question that, how soon do you think this is going to happen? And he said, anytime soon. According to now, they are thinking about September for the referendum.
September?
Yes.
No, next year?
The September of this year.
No, how feasible is that? That seems far-fetched to me.
That is
it's too feasible.
It's too what?
Now.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean that seems a bit far-fetched. Yeah.
No. That is why you see all this rallies going on every single day. Because
is that sorry to interrupt you, Baba Akure, is it your assessment that this rallies is really a signal to the international community to show them the tempo and the fervor and the want of the nation, that this is what the people want? Is effectively a signal to international community to say that, look, this is what we want?
It is not their maker before. They don't even know that, okay, they have to do all this before. But all the stuff you are seeing, raising flag and all those things, the flag they raised the other time, that is the information they gather from United Nations. They told them, okay, this is what you have to do. When you finish this is what you have to do next. That is why you see rally going on right now, because they have to make sure that when referendum comes, because if they vote down the referendum that people don't want to leave Nigeria, then that is dead. So you have to make sure that these people know what they want. And as I said to you, that is why they said that pamphlet is going to come out next month. So as they are doing rallies, so they will also be giving that to everybody, so you can read what you are going to gain from Yoruba Nation. So he mentioned that. So
effectively a campaign. This is effectively a political campaign for secession.
Well, if you call it so.
Yeah, well, if you are bringing out a manifesto, then that's a political scenario, is it not?
Well, seems so, but that is what they have to do. That is the guideline they gave them that they have to follow. So
And sorry, let's bring Ayo in. Ayo, this narrative that Baba Akure is painting us. So I'm still not clear on the geographical space that will be Oduduwa Nation. But then, of course, more importantly, if these steps are followed through, the Oduduwa Nation can just pull out of Nigeria without a shot being fired, which of course would be an excellence, first in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, everything he said is accurate. There are a number of steps. I mean, and this has been in the making for years. It isn't just something they've just started sort of like, within the last few months or so. This has been ongoing for quite a while. And what the stage they're at right now is they're creating awareness, and obviously you got to educate the population about the referendum. Otherwise, just like Baba Akure said, if that rolls around and people are like, what is this? I still want Nigeria and it's dead on arrival, and we're probably not going to get another chance to do that in 100 years or more. So it just makes sense to make sure everyone's at least aware. And it seems like the more people are becoming aware, the more they see the benefit of Oduduwa Nation sort of like extricating itself from the current
I'm not sure
situation.
if you're I'm not sure if you're aware, and you Baba Akure as well, and anyone else that wants to chime in, but particularly to Ayo, I'm not quite sure if you're aware of this meeting that's been converged by the political actors that we have in place at the moment at Marina House in Lagos, where people like Tinubu, Badabia Mila, all the state governors, in fact, all the Yoruba names that is in a political situation, yes, that they are coming to converge to have a meeting. So that meeting, of course, is to speak to this agitation for Yoruba Nation. But do you sense treachery in that, or do you think they are going to?
That's not what the meeting for.
Okay, what's the meeting for?
The meeting is actually, I mean, they didn't make it public, but if you do your research very well, you find out the meeting is actually they're actually about to discuss what IGBO is doing. I mean, it may not be negative.
Well, yes, that's the agitation for Yoruba Nation.
Yeah, but not in that direction. This is Tinubu move now. Tinubu still the high one.
Yes, that's the question that I was wanting to put. That is this going to be treachery to try and sideline this Yoruba agitation, Oduduwa Nation agitation, to try and sideline it for Tinubu's political ambition, or are they going to do the mathematics to see that this is what the people want, and then they will throw their weight behind it?
No, they are trying to see the possibility of that stick pushing on with the pressure of what IGBO is doing. Because as I said, it's all about Tinubu now. That's what the meeting is about. So they are trying to say, okay, do we still keep pushing with what IGBO is doing, or should we kind of, temper it down a little bit? So that's where they are going to go. What's next? What is next is what they're about to discuss. For him, anyway.
The issue is that, you know what? I've already bought my ticket. I'm going home over the weekend because we're having rally. We're having a mega rally, Yoruba mega rally in Akure on 22nd. So I will be there and I will cover it. And
please take your camera with you.
I have a question. I have a question for you, Baba Akure.
Yeah.
Baba Akure, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I mean, going by this.
After that question, I want Ayo to address what I said, but go on with your question first. Yeah.
This goes to Ayo too. This goes to Ayo too, and even you too. Those Oduduwa people.
Mm-hmm.
Our amiable professor Akintoye.
Mm-hmm.
This is an 86 years old man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think this man is just fighting for his own selfish interest, trying to put out a legacy out there in case if this dream able to achieve in 100 years time? It will be the Martin Luther King of others. He will always be agitating for it.
Yeah.
Don't you see it that way?
And how is that a bad thing?
He did mention that. He did mention that he is not looking for any political position at his age, but he wants his name to be written that this is what I did before I died. And every single person wants to leave that legacy, either for your own children, like
so
me.
Deep down in his heart, he knows it.
like me,
sorry to interrupt you, Baba Kure. Professor Akitoye already has a name, so his name is already in the history books. And if he's in his 80s, as you're saying, when he should have his feet up and have his grandchildren running around him, if he's still at the forefront of this, I would say that is one of the most selfless things that anybody can ever do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man. It's, I mean, at this point, I mean, he pretty much just said today most of the funding comes from him, and his children. Exactly, him and his kids. I mean, this guy is not looking for money. He's already famous. I mean, internationally, this guy is well respected. I mean, he's the #1 expert on Yoruba culture anywhere in the world. I mean, this guy. So yes, and he's not just an academic. He lives by his actions and by his knowledge. He knows what Yorubas have done in the past. He's fully aware of how we operate. Like I said, and I've said this a million times, if you're a Yoruba person, you need to go get that book. That book will help you understand yourself like crazy. I'm telling you, you know, a lot of people are religious because they're looking for understanding. A lot of people are.
What's that book again? So I can look at
It's called a history of the Yoruba people. I actually have it beside me. Let me put on my camera so I can show it to you. And this book is if there's any doubts about who we are as a people and what we're capable of doing, this is the book you all should get. Let me see if I can. This book right here.
Okay.
I'm going to put an Amazon link on the thing for anybody that wants to go purchase. So that's the link up to that book on Amazon.
Ayo, have you read The Fatherless People?
I have not.
Which is who does that speak to?
Is about this pretty much what we are talking about. How these
which people?
The Yorubas. It touched on every tribe, but how the Nigerian, how they put us together, how all this thing is happening. It's a very
and it's funny because you know, I was having a discussion with a couple of African Americans. This was several years ago, and they were like, "Yeah, I did my DNA test, and I'm from Western Nigeria, and this and that," and they were all quoting this book, and they could not believe that I hadn't read this book. I had never even heard about it. I was like, what? And I got it on Amazon and I read it immediately and it made so much sense. I've seen YouTube video after YouTube video with a lot of, and this isn't why the book is great, but this is just to show that it has international acclaim. A lot of Westerners, white Westerners who've studied Yoruba theology, this is their Bible. A lot of Westerners who are into Ifa and are on the more academic track of that whole situation, this is their Bible. I mean, it's funny that we should be pushing this book. At least the Yoruba should be pushing this book among our children.
Because you seem to be in that sphere. Speak to the latency of the Yoruba potential that has been stifled within this Nigerian contraption, as they like to put it. The possibilities that is just being killed, what we have to offer. Because, of course, there's an argument, and this an academic argument as well, that the binary system of Ifa is what actually underpins our computing. I'm not quite sure if that is far-fetched, but really to the latent potency that is just being snuffled out of us. I mean, the Yoruba person, speak to that a little bit, Ayo.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, the book is life-changing, and beyond that, you know, if as far as what we're capable of doing, Professor Akintoye said so today himself. You know, when we talk about Awolowo and the Western region between 1950 and 1960, the accomplishments were tremendous. The first TV station in Africa, the first, the most organized government structure in Africa. All the civil servants in the federal government from that time were being recruited from the Western Union just because of the expertise they had. The fact that Yorubas had graduates university graduates from the 1840s, 1850s. By the time the rest of Nigeria was catching up to going
just to interrupt you, just to interrupt you, Ayo, do you know that when according to, I'm not quite sure how this is verified, but when they were doing that amalgamation, some of the 6-7 names that they were mentioning, the only person that was not the leader of a people, because they had the Shehu of Borno, the Obong of Calabar, the Alaafin of Oyo, but the only name that stood as an individual person was a Yoruba lawyer. I cannot recall his name now.
Shakara, something Shakara or something. I know
yes,
yes. And he's absolutely right, because he was against it.
And just to interject on what you said as well, that Awolowo narrative, you know that the template of governance that Awolowo left is replicated by a vast swathe of African countries that they are using that playbook of Awolowo to formate their own nationhood, and it is working for them. So just the latent potency of the Yorubas. So sorry, carry on, Ayo.
But I don't want to sound like a Yoruba supremacist, because I don't think
you are. We already know you are. So
no, I'm not. I'm just proud. I'm proud of who I am, but I fully understand that other ethnicities are capable of this and more if we are allowed the space to pursue our dreams. But the Yorubas have a track record. We have a track record of being thinkers. We already have an empire of the mind, as he said. Now we need a physical empire, but we already have an established empire of the mind all over the world. Awolowo was only in the premier of the Western region for 6 years. You would think he was in charge for over 100 years with the amount of progress he made. But it's not even just about Awolowo.
Sorry, Ayo, let me interrupt you again, just to add to that Awolowo narrative. You see, these Fulanis that we talk about, the most latent and the most potent of them, the most fearsome of them are called the Bororo people. But funnily enough, they have the best cattle. So what the Yorubas had was a short stump sort of cattle. And then what Awolowo did then back in those days, because he was establishing ranches in the hinterlands of Yoruba land, he was taking the Bororo cattle and cross-breeding it with the local cattle types that we had in Yoruba land to evolve a hybrid sort of Yoruba cattle. And that was as far back, those farms are still there, but then of course it's been overtaken by weed. People don't know what that man was, but please,
okay. Like what Professor Akito said today. When I as I was listening to him, and based on what Ayo said, if that development that we had within that space of 6 years, if we continue that, I just imagine that what if we build on that, how will Nigeria will be today? We will be a far. Because within 6 years, he mentioned that even Western region already giving money to the federal government, lending them money. So when you look at that and you compare it to now, that if that legacy, if they build on that legacy, like Nigeria going to go to China to go and borrow money. Now they wouldn't even need to go to China and borrow money. So when you, in fact, it is.
And the free education system, you think it's just been Mr. Big Man. It's not been Mr. Big Man. He understood that because you see, human capital is what you call somebody that has an education, because because human beings and human capitals are two distinct things in economics. The more educated you are and the more valuable you are to your community, the more of a human capital you are, and then you're weighed as a measure. This is what I mean, people don't appreciate, but not to make it too much of a Yoruba loving. Igbo, what are you saying to this narration? And please eulogize about the Igbo a little bit for us as well, so we are not too tribal in our tonality.
No, I mean, if I were to mention something about the Igbo potential, I mean, raw intelligence, geez, I mean, I don't think anyone can argue that the Igbos are probably the most naturally intelligent people in Africa, if not on the planet. I mean, they're just naturally smart, you know. Without so sure, education helps, and I'm sure if they're able to get Biafra, they can, you know, sort of like develop the universities and high institutions they would like to formalize their intelligence. But I mean, as far as I mean, even right now, I mean, a lot of key people on the planet are Igbos holding very prominent positions all over the world. So, you know, I think, I mean, when we really look at it, I think most of us in the South, we're pretty similar. We have similar DNA. We have our language are both Bantu-derived languages. We're the same people genetically. We really are. We're a little different from the Chadic people up north.
You know, there's a question that I actually did a video on this, Ayo, and IGO and CN and UOV as well. I actually did a video on this about the Igbo skin texture, because the Igbos, especially the female, they're very light-skinned, and I was trying to trace then where that came from. Some of the narratives was a corruption by Europeans, but that narrative did not really hold. But yes, just to speak to that Igbo intelligence.
Can I bring something, please?
Let me just finish this point, and then you come in, and I want to hear from Igbo and CN as well. But just to speak to that Igbo intelligence that Ayo was describing, for me, I have always seen the Igbos in that light too. You know, when they talk about intelligence, they always talk about Jewish people and they always talk about the Chinese. But in terms of just raw intelligence, the Igbos have to be in that conversation as well, because just naturally clever people. Isaac.
Okay, now I just want to bring one point quick to that of Igbo. If you look at Biafra war, you will see that I think there's one technology school in Nunewi, something like that nation at that time. The armor tank and the gun that they use, do you know that they built it by themselves? Most of them were built by Igbo. So you can imagine that time, if they continue with that mentality up to today, you can imagine the development that they will have at that time.
Ego, are you there? What are you making of the narrative? Ego?
Yeah, this is the very reason. This is the very reason why I'm a one Nigerian. Hello.
Yes.
See, if you look at the potential, if you look at the potentials,
when we ask you to say nice things about Igbo people, you are saying one Nigeria. Are you OVA? Are you OVA in disguise?
I'm coming there now. I'm on my way there, man. OVA, please wait. Let me land, please. Let me land. Now, the reason I said the entire South, you see the Igbos, they are very unique kind of people. That one is the truth. We all Nigerians agree. The Igbos are very good. The Yorubas also, they are very good. Even those common small languages that are there in the down south too, they are also very, very talented people among them all. Now, the problem we find sometimes with the Igbos is that they don't just want you. They don't want you to see them wrong in any way.
No, we want you to say nice. We are saying nice things about them. No, say nice things about them.
They are some of the best Nigerians. They are some of the best Nigerians. By fact,
even best people on this
planet.
By
fact, that guy I just said maybe. I'm talking about Nigeria. I don't know about the planet. I don't know about the planet.
No, because if you look at Nigeria, if you go to NASA, sorry to interrupt you. If you go to NASA, you find Igbo peoples in NASA.
They are very bright. They are very. I mean, they are gifted. But I don't know you see, the Igbos generally believe that everybody hates them. Before you talk one or two words, they can twist it on their own.
Yes, but you remember when I wanted to bring up that narrative of victim mentality, and you know, they gunned me down. But you know,
they got you down. So Something with I don't know why they have this. I don't know why they have. I don't know what's really. I don't know how to put that anyway. So they are one of the best we have in Nigeria, and I expect them not to be clamoring for this thing of Biafra. I expect them to be going after the fight of our constitution. Let us have one right, equal right for.
All right, I gotta go, guys. Sorry, I gotta go, man.
All right, thank you, Ayo, for coming in to calm things down. God bless. So that's Ayo. All right, cheers.
So like I'm saying, it will be better for us, even the Igbos that are clamoring Biafra. For me, I don't see any Biafra anywhere. Not that I hate Nnamdi Kanu, they are my people. Not that I'm not supporting Nnamdi, but me, I don't see any Biafra because the way they are going about it, your so-called leader, he doesn't have the character. He only insult people around the world and talk and talk and talk. Then now you are running the Biafra thing, calling the Niger Delta, calling the Edo, calling these people. See, if true that you are running a Biafra that consists of real Biafra, as you are running in England, a non-tribal, a non-Igbo man from the Delta, you will see you will have a clique. Maybe like 7 different people, Igbo man, Yoruba man, Ijaw man, you know what I mean? Those small. It is the 7 of you that will not come together as Nnamdi Kanu. Not only you, Nnamdi Kanu, you alone, you're making decision with no consultation. When you present this, it becomes a problem.
Ego, you see, the thing is, a lot of people, because they don't like to hear this, but a lot of people outside of his followers, they feel that he has a mission that is different from what his followers might well think he has. But that is a different matter. If they want Biafra or not, they can have Biafra. But the only thing is the Yorubas. No, hold on. The Yorubas would not want them taking those Igbo women with them, because you know the Yorubas are Igbo women. What is life without a beautiful Igbo woman? So they can take all the men and go and form Biafra, but leave all the Igbo women in Yoruba land.
Leave the women with the Yorubas.
CN, what says you? Is that a deal, CN? You can have Biafra, but so long as you leave the beautiful Igbo women in Yoruba land. Is that a deal? Do we have a deal?
So here we go. So like I was waiting to take on you in the issue of our constitutional reform.
Oh yeah, go on. Yes. Important matter. Sorry, CN.
Yeah, let's go to important issue. Let's discuss the country, how we can move our country forward. See, the reason why I said that any agitation we are going for now is baseless as a people is that it will not have I don't know. There will not be a goal. I cannot be fighting a constitution. You are fighting amendment. You are fighting different. All these things will not. They will not be a focus. And our major problem still remain the constitution that gave some people rights over you. So first, let us
I wish you were here in the afternoon. I wish you were here in the afternoon because I tried to dissect that constitution with Baba Kure and a few others, and we've identified areas of concern in that constitution. So when you have time to spare, go and watch that session we did in the afternoon, because there are 68 items in that constitution that enslaves the Nigerian person. So that is really where the fight is regarding that constitution. But CN, we're saying...
how can you...
Go on.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, you finish your point, because I wanted to bring CN in as I start to round off. So finish your point.
Good. Okay, good. All right, thank you. Good. So when you look at it, if we want to mobilize, if we want to have any front with regard to this government, if we have to have any front, it should be give us a people's constitution or resign. This should be the mood of movement. It should not be a movement that has no demand.
And that people's constitution really should go through the existing constitution and pick out and remove the anti-people.
What are you talking about when we are talking? What are you talking about with what Nigerians are going through? If there should be anything like constitution now, like the Goodluck Jonathan report 2014, like the Goodluck Jonathan report 2014. If there should be a constitution now, Nigerians will shine their eyes. to make sure, I mean, those representatives, to make sure they are not being cowed like they've been cowed before. When Abdul Salam just write the paper and give to them. So if we get that one right, definitely you see all this agitation, you could calm and things will move. From there, we'll go to next thing, electoral reform. Once our constitution is done, we have a good electoral reform. Forget, we will all live peacefully as one people.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. I'll interrogate you some more next time. But I want to go to CN now. CN, so my deal, I'm saying that we will support Biafra, but then of course the Igbo women have to stay in Yoruba land because you know Yoruba people and Igbo women. You cannot separate that one. CN.
Yeah, but yeah, we do have a lot of Yoruba that were married as well, so they will stay with us, isn't it? Why?
No, is that a deal? We keep the Igbo women, but you guys, maybe you can go to Cameroon and find wives.
I think we have a unique relationship with the Yorubas. First of all, I just want to express my appreciation to Ayo and Baba Akure for helping to change the narratives. You know, the house was a little bit rough before you made a very wise decision to bring them in. And the purpose for which you brought them in yielded pretty good results. At least we'd like to hear from people who can give us, who will change narratives and give us information, you know, that we do not have, you know. So especially from Ayo and from Akure, Baba Akure, which I wanted to. Yeah, no, Ovia is one man. Ovia is, everybody knows Ovia. He stands, that his consistency is the only thing that I reckon in him. But sometimes he speaks like, you know, I don't know, maybe it's a useful exuberance, you know. So I don't know how old he is, but sometimes he does that, you know. And the thing that is very unfortunate, he lives in the United States and he continually to say certain things sometimes, but
no, I think Ovia is just Ovia. This is why we love him.
Yes,
but
I know. Ovia is one man. Let me tell you, Ovia is one person that brings balance to your program. Believe me, he brings balance most times. Believe me, but if I tell you somebody he does certain things sometimes. I don't know, maybe he does it just like the other guy you always bring it. He may be thinking he's helping to popularize your program, but he's damaging your program. The other guy they call Mike because he has no substance.
No. So, you see, the thing is the session itself is the session. And sometimes I allow the free flow because, of course, you are an adult and you stand. I take I don't take any responsibility for what anybody says apart from the use of language. That's just the one thing. I don't want anybody using curse words. Apart from that, then your opinion is your opinion. You own it or you withdraw it. Yeah.
No, one man, let me tell you, I give you kudos, you know, because you've been around. You know this game. Sometimes when I see you, I watch you from behind when people are logging heads, you know, I see the way you feel. I look at you from a distance. I know how you feel. And I say, this man, pretty experienced. I was checking around the other day, said, let me know how long you've been doing this. Until somebody said, 3 years, he told a story of how long he's been following you. I said, no wonder why this man allowed this to happen sometimes, because I guess there is something you are looking for. You know, so, but you do.
Let me just tell you what I'm looking for, just to say, you see, this platform is the voice of Nigeria and Nigerians. And I am hoping that it's not just the voice of the man on the street, but a voice that is experienced and refined. So, you know, they say whenever there's three Nigerians, there are 4 opinions. So that was what we see demonstrated here. But I'm not going to stifle anybody. But really, what we were looking for is to speak good things about Igbo achievements and how fantastically brilliant they are. So, do you have any thoughts on that? How great are the Igbos?
Okay, first of all, no, I'm not going to speak about how great are the Igbos, because that is not. I won't be the right person to talk about a particular where I came from, a particular indigenous people, especially where I came from. I would want Baba Akure to. I would like to hear from him. I'd like to hear from.
No, he has already told us how fantastic the Igbos are, and you know,
and I will talk about how fantastic the Yoruba are. I will tell you how fantastic.
There's very few people that I rate higher than the Igbos. I was saying just now that globally they consider the Jewish people and the Chinese to be people with super brain, but I am saying that the Igbos have to be amongst that narration, because in terms of just raw intelligence, just raw brain power, I don't think there are very few people that can beat the Igbos.
I don't know. We are all we have a special gift from God, talents, you know, which are distinctive to a particular, indigenous people. Everybody is cute to me. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can tell you about that Igbo person is that you give him something, he looked at it, he want to do the same thing, he doesn't need education to do that. He can just think about that. Before you see him, he start molding the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it is the education that will help to advance in, that particular product. So it's gift. I find myself growing up. I do things that sometimes is quite unimaginable. I just don't know how it comes. So it's a special gift, and that God has just given to every one of us. He use it to distinguish.
Don't love yourself too much. There's a special room for that. Don't.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me go ahead. That's why I don't want to go into this topic.
No, I'm only joking. Of course, Igbos are great.
Yes, I want to use this time to, acknowledge Professor Banji, and for a man of 86 years old, sometimes I sit down, I say, what is this man looking for? Is it money? Is it name? He's already famous. It's not money he's looking for at this stage of his life. And that motivates me. That drives me, you know what I'm saying? And that makes me to think everybody is not stupid. I'm sorry to use this language. It makes me that not everybody is naughty in our country. When you can see a man at this age, selfishly looking to have a better life for the people he's going to leave behind, because this man cannot live, the next 20 years he's not going to be around, you know what I'm saying? And yet he is taking all this risk, doing what he's doing. I want to tell you something why I'm saying this. Do you know that a lot of things are happening underground just because the wisdom that this man introduced in this struggle of, breaking Nigeria into pieces so that we can have better relations and be a better neighbor to each other. This is just what this man is thinking, because he knew that the Nigeria in context is a good country, but unfortunately we can't be one. But the only way for us to be better one,
it's a real pity, that Nigeria has failed as an experiment, because imagine if he had succeeded. I mean, forget America. This is we have the temperature, we have the weather, we have there's nothing we don't have, but it's almost going against good fortune to it's like shooting yourself in the foot. The Nigerian story it's a sad story, really.
Exactly. And for us to be better to ourselves, this man came and became a tactician. He introduced academic knowledge in the struggle. How do I mean this? What is happening today is not the kind of noise making, but this man has directed the affair, and he is getting all the indigenous people together. He's doing this. He's not doing it for only Yoruba alone. He has collected all the indigenous people. Even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, he hears from this man right now. And what has he done? What he's doing right now is what Baba Akure was trying to express to you. Something is about to take place. He is about to fulfill certain requirements very slowly and quietly and secretly. Why? Who did it? Is Professor Banji Akintoye. Everything is going smoothly, Don't be surprised. And that's why sometimes before you talk, I say, well, I'm sorry, my dear brother. you will say it's going to take everybody by surprise. And why are we saying this right now? Because we have a tactician in the name of Professor Banji Akintoye. I tell you, I just my
and CN, just back to the zoo, back to the zoo, as they call it.
No, I don't use the word.
Hold on. No, okay. I'm just paraphrasing.
Okay.
So just back to the land of the living. These supposed words that we heard from the Inspector General of Police: forget human rights and slaughter them.
You know, I said earlier that it's only such an illegal command can only be given to terrorists. You know, only to a suicide squad, but it's not to professional police. You know, if the police was speaking to a professional, they will tell him, "Oh, God, you don't use that for the people." That's not why they wear the uniform.
All right, see, and we leave it there. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we see you again at. I keep saying tomorrow, but it's already later today. God bless. So Ovie, I'm saying that they can have their Biafra or they like, but those Igbo babes, you know, we keep them in Lagos.
As a Pan-Africanist, I don't know what you're talking about in terms of.
Okay. You of all people. Even if Isaac and I don't know, I'm sure you know.
Igbo man love a woman past any other person, so I don't think they will even allow that to happen in the first place.
I'm only joking, by the way, because I know they will come for me.
First of all, again, another perspective to this police, order and all that. Remember, their grievances now is that the IPOB, according to the police, are killing their personnel and burning their, stations and all that. So, and they can't take it no more. So that is where that directive is coming from, if you ask me. Because they are complaining, they are killing this is not an allegation, it's happening. Police station has been burned, officers have been killed. So if he carried that kind of order, regardless of how you see it, he will tell you have a reason for saying what he said. Then this idea of the Igbo people are the smartest, it's ridiculous.
No, we're not saying they are the smartest. We're asking you to say nice things about them. So say nice things about Igbo people.
I'm not going to put Igbo people above the Yoruba man or above the Hausa man.
No, not above, but
are you going to say they are not smart?
I think we are inspired by those that came before us. Some of the most prominent men in IGBOLAND are businessmen, and they did not just keep that secret to themselves. They spread it among their children and kinsmen. So that's why we see them at that level. The same thing goes to the FULANI or average Hausa man. They grew up seeing those that came before them as at the top, at the aim of, and they're making decisions and leading. So that drives them too. The same thing with the Yoruba man. And some of the most prominent men we are talking about, to use.
Is there nothing that you admire? What do you admire about the Igbo people of here?
I admire I think no matter how we see it, there's a commonality. There's that something the Igbo man and the Fulani man has in common. There's no local government you go then Igbo man in Nigeria, you don't see an Igbo man doing business. Same goes to the Fulani man in they are in everybody's backyard. And there's this sense that anywhere you go in this world, there's not an Igbo man, there's no money there. Now me say, they have one. And the same thing goes to the Fulani man too. If they are not in your forest, that means there's something wrong with that forest. So I admire each of them for that, an average Igbo man for that doggedness. Anywhere in there, he could survive. If you know,
just to that Fulani thing, they keep saying they are dumb. They control all the bureau de change in Nigeria. When you go and change your dollar, is Aboki you go to?
Again, then everybody is smart and it's their own way, intelligence and their own way. Me, I am more getting towards of the collective power. You say they are smart. What are they able to achieve collectively with that power? And that is what is rooting them. They could not, that power is something that they are missing, and that is what is eating them up. And I understand that. So if you said you are smart, bring your collective knowledge together and get that power and see what you are going to do with it. But sitting down somewhere and you are crying that you are expecting them to just come and deliver it to you, It doesn't work like that. You are smart, you are intelligent, then put it to work. Let's see it.
Ovie, you're always talking about the Constitution, but unfortunately, you were not around when we went through.
Now, this is what is going to happen before 2023. Right now, the southern governors have come down, and now the accusation and the challenge before the governors is that they are holding the local government ransom. They kidnap the local government autonomy and put it in their pocket. The judicial autonomy in their state is in their pocket. So how dare you come out and say restructure? So you are not, they are saying you are not even qualified to. So that's why they say, that's why the FULANI say, go back home and restructure your home first. And that is
that's
true.
what LAWAN'S said.
Don't have autonomy. As soon as the money come to them, the government kidnap them. I think James or somebody was saying that they will say, come and send 20 million instead of 30 million. So they themselves are not clean. So how dare you ask for going to the federal to ask for restructure when your own
but it's really the people versus the system, really, isn't it?
Now that's why I say we the people, especially on our own side, we are hitting at the wrong people. We are hitting at the wrong people. Our own heart, charity they say begins at home. The Niger Delta development is a cash cow. We know they even hold our people there. They react better, they intimidate us. They will come tell us, say, nah, FULANI be our problem. And we true, we say, okay, now true. But those are just the symptoms of what we are seeing. Why is the FULANI so powerful all of a sudden?
Okay,
that's the question we ask now. I said, with all our intelligence,
we'll leave it there. We'll tackle that.
See, no, Yoruba man will go and become
just a couple more words,
in the world. He will go and be the best surgeon in the world. Or the Igbo man will go and be the best business you can get or in Harvard or any higher institution out there. Guess what? When you come back to Nigeria, you establish yourself as one of the best in the world. But you forget that as a medical doctor, you are going to answer to a minister who probably just has a secondary school certificate from my village. But because you understand what leadership is all about, it's waiting for you. With all your degrees and everything, you have to answer to his foolish ideas and policies.
You know,
so we are getting the wrong education.
I saw a photograph once with Shehu Shagari and Alex Ekweme. So Alex Ekweme, Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford, etc. Shehu Shagari, grade 2 teacher. And then under that photo, they showed Buhari and Oshibajo. Oshibajo, law professor. Buhari, if you know where his school start is, then please tell Nigeria, because everybody is looking for a school start. So no school start president, professor, vice president, grade 2 teacher, president, Harvard, Oxford, PhD, vice president. So that is the narrative of Nigeria. We'll reconvene again tomorrow, Ovie, just for reasons of time. Thank you, Ovie. Everybody loves to hear from Ovie. Baba Akure, take it home for us.
Well, I will start with the issue of Igbo not smart and Igbo smart. There is no doubt about it. I don't really care if Igbo does something bad. I will say it. If they do something good, I will say it as well. But there is no doubt. Igbo are very, very smart people. I still imagine the way they fought civil war, because I was watching a documentary. It shows that most of the gun, most of the ammunition, even the vehicle that some of the vehicle they used at that time were built from some abandoned tractor and all kind of. They just joined it together and they fought that war, and that war was fought collectively by Nigeria, Yoruba against Igbo. If it was Igbo at that time with Nigeria, they would have defeated the federal government. Even with all the collective effort fighting them, it took almost about 2 or 3 years before they finalized everything, before they surrender. So they are very intelligent. Even go to US, the first man that dictated the concussion in the brain of is it basketball player or football?
No, I think it's football players when they are clashing heads. Yeah,
exactly. He is Igbo. Even this issue of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. who is one of the pioneers, he is from Igbo. But we also have the same thing in Yoruba. Look at the man Adedeji, I think it's from your state or Ogun State, that took out the baby from the womb, removed the cancer from that womb and put the baby back there, and the baby was born alive. He's from Yoruba. So it is Nigeria frustrating these people. Are they being we are not even collectively joined together by force? I think we would have been a very great country. Igbo would have been a very great country. Yoruba would have been a very great country. And there is no doubt as well, Hausa Fulani would have been a better country as well. So that one is one. Then the issue of governance. Truly, I've already heard from a reliable source that when the allocation of that is why our local government is not functioning right now. When the money comes from Abuja, there is a bank account that state government already opened, particularly in those states, based on what I heard from some of the workers from local government. The money will come straight to the account that state government already opened on the name of all the local governments in that state. So when that money got to that account, then the state government will be giving them, okay, it is you, 5 million, we are going to give them whatever they feel, and they sign for it. That, okay, they collect more than, instead of 10 million, they may say, okay, they give them 5 million and they sign for 10 million. And that is one of the reasons why we are not seeing any development in local government right now.
I think James was saying the same thing earlier on.
Yeah, I wanted to support him, but you know, I was unable. But I heard from those who working for local government, not that I read, I heard, because I have a friend who's one of the accountants at local government. The money will come from federal and come to the state account, the open account for all the local government. Then the state will be giving them whatever they feel. So that is why you see the local government something is just take with levity hand. Is that they might come to work today and tomorrow they didn't even see anybody at local government headquarters. So that is what is going on. So then let me talk about the issue of police going to eastern part of Nigeria, where we cannot put this aside. We cannot underrate it, because you will see a lot of things that have been going on here for a very long time. But my question is that, can they win? Can our police, anyway, Nigeria police, let me put it that way, can they win whatever is going on in South?
And the other thing you have to add into that, a lot of those police people, of course, a lot of them from the north, but then of course a lot of them from the south as well. So when it comes to it, will the southern police just arbitrarily, especially the ones of Igbo extraction, go against their own people in the manner that they are suggesting?
Well, to me, the way I read everything. When I look at okay, they are preparing to go to, I just laugh. I say, these people, you wait. To me, I think the best thing is to sit down with all the agitators. Okay, what is so wrong? Okay, if I say I'm not interested in something, is it by force? You don't have to force me. The best thing is to just sit down. Okay, well, this is what you can do, and everybody will agree. But if they want to use force, I don't think it is the war they can win against these people, because they are so determined. There is no doubt about that. They are so determined, because we hear issue of burning INEC office, issue of burning. I'm not saying I don't know who is doing that, but a lot of things going on there that I don't think these people cannot just wash it away like that. That they want to conquer them. I don't see that. It will take a lot of work if they have to defeat whoever or whatever. Challenges
and the other thing they have to consider is that they are going into that place, but these people, they know that land better than them, no matter what.
You know, this thing came up this morning about the issue of policing. You bring somebody from Katsina State to come and fight crime in Ondo State. It's never done because you don't know the place. You cannot know my own.
The thing is that man from Katsina is immediately suspicious of everybody because he doesn't know the language, he doesn't know the culture, and the people of that place, they are immediately suspicious of him because he doesn't know the language. So it's just like a hostile environment.
Exactly. Now, when you didn't even say, okay, well, you said you want to go for IPOB. How do you know IPOB? How will you know them? Just kill and just shoot and kill. So if you have somebody now who is legitimately have his own gun, now you just shoot the person just like that. When the president,
my fear is just for young people there because I suspect they'll just be targeting young people.
Exactly. Okay, now the other day, now Buhari said, "Oh, just shoot aside. If you see anybody out AK-47, did they shoot? Did you hear that they shoot any S-man?
Not a single one. Not a single one.
Even today, when Yoruba Nation were having a rally at Odoro in Kwara State, you can still see them on the road with gun and they still rearing their cow on somebody's farm. But some people, you have terrorists in the north. You are channeling all your efforts to southeast while living your own in Niger State that has been almost overrun by terrorists. You have Borno State there, nothing is going on there. They almost overrun. So I'm very sorry. I pity Nigeria. I pity Nigeria because with what we are seeing.
But we can always pin our hope on Oduduwa nation.
Yeah, because they vowed that okay, they want to come to southwest as well. Because I heard that a few days back they want to come to the southwest and deal with. I just laugh. If that happens. Anyway, let's just say we just have to hope for the best.
All right, I think that's a good optimistic note to leave it. God bless. Sleep well. So that was Isaac. You all know Isaac. So that has been the session. We started off with what is purported to have been attributed to the Inspector General of Police. It's been reported widely in newspapers, but of course, we've not seen a video capture of that, and I am hopeful that it is just a made-up story because that would be an outlandish thing to say by the Inspector General of Police. But regardless, concerns about what is going on in the eastern quarters, because of course it's now turning essentially into a theater of war. So of course, young people especially, we have to give our thoughts to that. And of course, we spoke about the move against Lawan. People wanting him out of position, but that voice wanting him out of position is a minority voice within that space. So that has been the session. We had the interlude with Isaac, not with Isaac, with Mike and Maurice especially, and I allowed that space for that to happen because I thought that would be an opportunity as matured men for them to agree for civil conduct, but then of course it degenerated to the point that I had to remove them. So that's not to say I am banning them permanently, because the one thing I talk to is free speech, but then of course that's the line now drawn under that particular sort of behavior, because you can hear the feedback from, if you look at how the session was going when I had particularly those two chaps on, and how it went on after we asked them to leave, then you can see then that it is a better engagement without the rancor and the screaming. So that ends with that. So they will still come on because I know that a lot of people love to hear from them. So they are still welcome to come on, but not ever again in that also like a dimension, especially focusing on Mike and Maurice. So let's just leave that there and leave this conversation here. But then, of course, it carries on in the comment section where I join you to engage. But here, I say peace.